Wimbledon 2025 with Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
Lovely to have you coming in. Just getting shots on the monitor of Carlos Alcaraz going through his whole team and hugging them each in turn. And I've just seen his mother, father, younger brother Jaime and his older brother who've taken their place in the box. So very sure. He's got a big team actually to get round, so that could take quite a while. We await for Jannik Sinner. They will start the walk and then we will bring those players out onto court for you. But they've still got a handful of minutes because it's 4:05. In the commentary box here on Centre Court, correspondent Russell Fuller, Annabelle Croft, Marion Bartley. Pat Cash has made his way up from his television duties, and before Jannik Sinner joins him, Pat, and they start the walk, what is the feeling on the TV side of things from what people were saying about this final?
Oh, I don't know if we actually got a prediction there out of John McEnroe. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if what he thought. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready to give your prediction? Because I know what it is, or
Yes,
you still want to
please.
wait?
I am not.
Oh, come on, Pat.
I don't know.
But
that's because
stop saying I don't know. Of course you know.
You did earlier, Pat, about half an hour ago, you told me.
Well, I did, but that was. My brain tells me Alcaraz. He's the two-time defending champion. He's the best player on grass. He's got the most variety. He's got the most shots. But there's something about this Sinner luck, run, whatever, that I think he's going to pull it off. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And that just makes no sense. Not that he's a bad player. I mean, he's an unbelievable player. But you think everything sort of points to Alcaraz. Head-to-head, last match, brain, scar tissue from that final, etc. Everything points to Alcaraz. But Sinner is he's so determined and, yeah. So I'm still sitting on the fence.
You're still sitting on the fence. I'll come back to Annabelle because Jannik Sinner has just joined Carlos Alcaraz. The Spaniard just covered himself in sun cream. Bags are on the shoulders. Russell, they are on the move.
They are indeed on their way through the corridor. And again, Carlos Alcaraz is smiling and just acknowledging the cheers from the spectators through the glass. Both players can see the spectators who are gathered in the walkway below. And that is just so Carlos Alcaraz, isn't it? Even as he walks out to defend his title and try and win Wimbledon for a third time, he's able to smile at the magnificence of the moment. He's looking a little bit more stony-faced now, with Jannik Sinner half a dozen paces behind him, wearing a white baseball cap. This will be the first Wimbledon men's final to be contested by two children of the 21st century. And it is the latest chapter in this staggering rivalry. Their first Grand Slam final was only 5 weeks ago at Roland Garros in Paris, where Alcaraz saved those 3 championship points and won the longest French Open final in French Open history in a match tiebreak. Could it possibly go 5 hours and 29 minutes today? The players have arrived at the bottom of the stairs, and the person with the best view now is Naomi Cavaday.
Well, I'm fighting my way through the cameras. All of the phones now focused on the two players. We can see somebody jumping up and down. I think that is Carlos Alcaraz, Jannik Sinner in there as well, as they wait for the beautifully decorated white glass doors to open to let them onto court. If Jannik Sinner looks to the left, he will see the list of champions, former champions, and he will see Alcaraz. The last 2 years, Alcaraz has won. Both players are just being held in this trophy room where the trophies live throughout the year. And they are getting ready and waiting for their cue to walk out onto court. There are hundreds and hundreds of people out here desperately trying to get a glimpse. We've seen the Alcaraz team march on through. They look very relaxed. Juan Carlos Ferrero leading that one. We've seen some famous faces as well just move along this patch. Everybody getting set. And a lot of these people out here will be heading to the hill as soon as they can. But they want to get a glimpse at their players, who are just now standing one in front of the other, just moments away now from walking out onto court for this Wimbledon final. They're still being held and people are on shoulders, getting up as high as they can. It absolutely is an advantage to be tall right now. I am on my tiptoes at the back. I can still just about make both players out, who are going through their final adjustments. A little bit of a jog left and right. They've done all of their warm-ups. They want to keep loose. They want to feel sharp. And any second now, it'll be time to go. Adjusting the socks as well as the clothing. And now a sense of calm. They've both stopped moving. Just Alcaraz swaying from side to side in the background. Sinner a little more stationary. And it is Sinner who picks up his bag first, followed by Alcaraz. The preparation is complete. There is nothing left to do other than to walk out onto court for this Wimbledon final. And the doors are open.
And here they come, onto centre court on this Sunday afternoon. Jannik Sinner leading out Carlos Alcaraz. He is hoping to become the first Italian to win the Wimbledon singles title. Matteo Berrettini in 2021 and Jasmine Paolini in 2024 came close but lost in the final. Carlos Alcaraz bidding to become the 5th player in the Open era to win 3 consecutive Wimbledon titles, joining Bjorn Borg, Pete Sampras, Roger Federer and Novak Djokovic. 4 o'clock start, delayed by 10 minutes because of the ladies' doubles final. But the 13th instalment of Sinner against Alcaraz will be underway in just 5 minutes' time here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
And interesting, Annabella, maybe it wasn't that normally the lower ranked of the players would come out first, but in this case we had the world number 1 that led out the defending champion and world number 2.
Yeah, that was interesting, wasn't it? But they both seemed, I was going to say relaxed. I didn't think they felt that relaxed backstage then. I think they arrived down into that main holding area when they'd made their way along that long corridor a little bit quicker than perhaps expected. And because they had told everybody, you know, not just the centre court crowd, but obviously crowds and watchers around the world that it was going to be 10 past, and then suddenly there was this 2-minute wait, which would have been very excruciating for both players. I think felt like there was quite a bit of tension actually before they walked onto the court.
But I thought it was interesting when we've been discussing in the build-up what could be the difference, and there's so little to choose between them. Something you pointed out was the amount of extra time that Alcaraz has spent on court.
Yeah, I mean, nearly 5 hours is quite a big difference in the legs, and it's not just physically, it's emotionally how draining that is for a player. But I mean, he's bouncing around here and he does seem to have boundless amounts of energy. I also thought what was interesting the other day, Gigi, was how he actually referenced how hot it was to play this year at Wimbledon. And I was thinking, well, you're Spanish, you're used to all this heat and everything, but he actually brought the subject up. And when I saw him backstage, when we'd finished an interview out on centre court, he actually said it is really hot out there. So I think all of the players have felt the heat quite a lot, although it is a little bit cooler today. Not by much, it's not quite as stifling, is it? And I think playing a little bit later in the day probably is quite helpful too.
Let's just quickly nip to Lords for news of a wicket at the cricket with Ellie.
The England captain Ben Stokes is out just 10 minutes after tea, and it's Washington Sundar, the off-spinner, who has struck again. Stokes going for the big hit over mid-wicket and missing it, just drifting on, and he's out for 33, bowled by Sundar. England 181 for 7, so 181 is the lead.
Ellie, thank you so much. The cricket continuing over on Sports Extra. But 5 weeks ago, Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner met in a Grand Slam final for the first time. Ever since that extraordinary afternoon in Paris, the tennis world has been desperate to see them battle it out once again.
Back on the line by Alcaraz. Forehand on the line. Long! Championship point for Jannik Sinner of Italy.
I don't want to miss opportunities by just sitting back.
Sinner long. There's the first of 3 championship points saved. He hits his backhand cross court. Long. 2 championship points saved. 1 to go. You know who the crowd wants.
3 hours and 46 minutes. They want more.
On to the baseline goes Alcaraz. And Sinner nets. And Alcaraz survives. Unbelievable.
Things can happen on court, and they happen.
Here's Alcaraz with a forehand down the line, and he's made it.
Alcaraz.
And he strides back to his chair, waving to his crowd, asking for more noise.
I have to believe in myself for all the times that everything is possible, everything can happen on a tennis court.
Sinner serves down the central to the forehand. What a response from Alcaraz, who steps in with a forehand.
Alcaraz.
15,000 people rise. Alcaraz shakes his fist. Sinner stunned.
What time was my train tonight? This thing's going to go on all evening.
The drop shot from Alcaraz to try and get the break. Sinner is there and steers it wide. And he looks to be cramping as he pulls up towards the net, and he is now walking very gingerly towards his chair. He's been broken in the opening game of the decider, and after 4 hours and 19 minutes, has the world number one physically hit the wall?
I try to delete everything in Grand Slams. You try to start from zero again.
Second serve from Alcaraz. He's break point down. Backhand from Sinner. Alcaraz forehand into the net. Fabulous return by Sinner. Straight down the middle. And it's 5 games all in the deciding set after 5 hours and 5 minutes on the Philippe Chatrier court.
We couldn't make this up. We hoped, we thought that it had the potential to be an epic, but this one's making history.
A 10-point tiebreak to decide the French Open crown. Sinner with a forehand cross-court. Alcaraz with a forehand down the line, passing winner. What other way was he going to win the title? The longest final in French Open history. Perhaps the greatest final we've seen here. We could be doing it all again on centre court 5 weeks from today.
And we are 3 minutes away from doing just that. A 13th meeting between them, a second meeting at a Grand Slam final, a second meeting on grass. Jannik Sinner has lost just 9 matches since the start of 2024, but the man he has come unstuck against more than most, Marion Bartley, is Carlos Alcaraz.
Well, absolutely. But again, just listening to the sounds of that final give me goosebumps, because it just make me dive into that match that was so extraordinary. And unfortunately, in our sport, there is just one winner and one loser, but you really felt on that day that both of them really came up as being winners, and tennis being the biggest winner of them all, because the way they have been able to just push the limits physically, mentally, tennistically, everything. Even people who would normally not follow tennis actually came to me after this match saying, well, now I want to follow them more, because they are actually drawing people into what they're able to bring into the court. And I think this is what we wanted for our sport after the legacy of Roger, Rafa, Novak, is to have players who are capable of filling those shoes that are very large and very difficult to fill. And I think very much so today, it's very difficult for me to lean more towards one or the other, because you want the story to be so beautiful, and it will be beautiful in another way. It will be the first Italian player ever to win Wimbledon, if it's Sinner the case, and therefore to complete the Italian Grand Slam, and as all the Italian players has won other Grand Slam but Wimbledon. And if Alcaraz is able to join the sort of Borg, Sampras, Federer and Djokovic in winning 3 Wimbledons in a row, it will be history as well. So one way or the other, we will have an historical moment on centre court, and we just can't wait for it to start.
A minute and a half till the first ball is struck. So let's cross back to Lords and news of a wicket with Ellie.
Yes, and Bryden Carlos is out. Jasprit Bumrah, absolutely beautiful delivery. A Yorker removing his leg stump. Carlos out for 1. England 182 for 8. Chris Wokes 8. Jofra Archer yet to get off the mark. This has swung after tea back towards India.
Ellie, thank you very much. The cricket continues on Sports Extra, but here on 5 Live, our attention on the final match of Wimbledon 2025, and it's the match that everybody wanted to see. Carlos Alcaraz looking for his 3rd Wimbledon title, his 3rd in a row. Jannik Sinner looking for his 1st on the grass, having reached the final now of all 4 slams. It will not disappoint. Whatever your plans for this afternoon and probably into the evening, make sure you take us with us via BBC Sounds. Keep tuned to 5 Live. Jannik Sinner against Carlos Alcaraz. Annabelle Croft is alongside me, and in the commentary box we have Pat Cash, Marion Bartley and correspondent Russell Fuller.
Thank you, Gigi. Our batteries have been on charge all night long because we are anticipating another classic match between these two who never disappoint. Carlos Alcaraz in control of the rivalry at the moment, having won the last 5 matches, but virtually every single one of them has been close. Of those 5 wins, 4 have gone the distance, including that 5-hour 29-minute match in the French Open final 5 weeks ago. The only one that was won in straight sets was the Rome final at the beginning of May, won by Alcaraz, but that was Jannik Sinner's first tournament back after a 3-month ban for a doping violation. So, which way will this Wimbledon final go? Will Jannik Sinner become the first Italian ever to win the men's or ladies singles at Wimbledon? Or will Carlos Alcaraz win his 6th Grand Slam title from a 6th Grand Slam final? One thing we do know is that for the 7th Grand Slam in a row, the trophy will be held aloft by either Carlos Alcaraz or Jannik Sinner. Centre court is ready. Alison Hughes, our chair umpire, is ready. This her 23rd Grand Slam singles final in the chair, her first men's singles final at Wimbledon, and it's Carlos Alcaraz in front of the royal box getting us underway. And Alette begins the 2025 Wimbledon final. The royal box is packed. There is King Felipe VI of Spain. There's also the Italian ambassador for balance. As Alcaraz serves an ace, that much improved serve, which has been such a factor of his success in recent weeks and months, registers early, and he takes the first point of the final as we watch with two champions, Pat Cash, who beat Ivan Lendl to win the title in 1987, and Marion Bartoli, who beat Sabina Lisicki to win the title here 12 years ago, and that was nearly ace number 2. It hit the back line. Sinner got a little bit of his frame to the racket, to the ball, but Alcaraz with a fine start on serve. .30 Alcaraz in the sunshine, as is Jannik Sinner at the far end on a hot day with temperatures of around about 27, 28 degrees Celsius. Sinner thought that was another ace. He was heading to the advantage court, but it was called out by the electronic line calling we've had for the first time here at Wimbledon this year. Sinner puts a backhand into the net. He's wearing that compression sleeve on his right arm once again. There is some bandages and strapping under that, a legacy of the fall on his right elbow at the start of his 4th round match on Monday against Grigor Dimitrov. He says that he is handling this small problem very well, and it no longer looks like it's a factor. Alcaraz then with 3 game points puts a first serve into the net as Jannik Sinner tries to get on the board for the first time in this final. Second serve from Alcaraz, right to the back of the service box. He picks up a half volley from the baseline. It's long from Sinner, and Alcaraz, Marion and Pat holds to love in the opening game of the final.
Important and characteristic from Jannik Sinner, we talked about the consistency of his game. 2 sort of easy backhand that he has missed, 1 into the net, 1 deep. On the last one down the line, he's just a bit far from the bounce of the ball, the feet not getting in position. One thing I have noticed is, so Jannik Sinner won the coin toss and elected to receive, didn't choose to start first serving. And before the first point, he took a look to his box, and Darren Cahill was on his feet clapping and fist pumping towards him. I was saying, come on, let's go, let's do this together. So there is a bit of nerves in the air, a bit of tension, as you want normally on grass to serve first when you win the coin toss, you would think.
Strange call when you got to serve like that, to receive first. But this is a big game for Sinner. A couple of free points he wants on his serve.
Jannik Sinner.
He's got to be naturally a bit nervous.
White baseball cap, which will come in handy at the royal box end of the court, where Jannik Sinner is now. He also starts with Alette. $15,000 fans and several hundred fans as people cool themselves from the hot temperatures here in southwest London. Sinner will leave that slice backhand approach from Alcaraz, which does float over the baseline, and the Italian world number 1 has his first point of the final.
Well, really aggressive play, wasn't it? The backhand hit the back end of the back, across court, the backhand corner, good shot, and he raced straight to the net, which is a good sign for Sinner. He's willing to come in and finish those points off at the net.
Sinner has 15 love. Forehand return from Alcaraz to the backhand of Sinner, which he's netted.
So 3 backhand mistakes. In 1 game and 2 points. Just going a little bit backwards with the body weight as he's contacting into the ball in cross stance, and instead of leaning really into the ball, he's pulling off ever slightly backwards.
15 all on the Sinner serve. This is his 4th consecutive Grand Slam singles final. Others to have done that in the Open era are Andre Agassi, Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rod Laver and Rafael Nadal in no particular order. Good deep return here by Alcaraz. Sinner's hitting the sideline. Backhand from Sinner down the middle. Forehand cross-court long from Alcaraz, the champion of the last 2 years.
And I think, Ross, it's worth also talking about the improvement of Jannik Sinner on his serve pre-Darren Cahill and after having Darren Cahill on his box, because the Sinner of 2021, 2022, when he came on the grass at Wimbledon, he was not that accurate with the serve. He was really having sort of average mid-court serve that was not very precise to the line, and he got so much better with Darren Cahill in his camp, just he being able to hit his spots in much better occasions.
30-15, Sinner,
like
it's a service winner.
And actually, the most improvement has been on the ad court, which is where you win your game. He went from a 62% being 2 feet off the lines to now be at 73%, almost 10% increasement.
2 game points for Jannik Sinner to get his first service hold of the final. Backhand reply from Alcaraz. Sinner with a backhand cross-court. Alcaraz backhand cross-court. Cross-court with the backhand goes the Italian too, and now a forehand, a short one from Sinner. His forehand is deeper, in fact too deep, and Alcaraz still retains an interest in this opening Sinner service game.
30. Just missing a little bit more balls from the back of the court than usual, Jannik Sinner. Even the forehand before the unforced errors was not timed properly. The contact point was not clean into the racket. Definitely showing a little bit of extra nerves at the beginning of this final.
Sinner with 1 game point remaining now. Serving at 40-30. Excellent serve down the tee. Ace from Sinner. 1 game all.
And Seal, the singer, is on Sinner's box. So it just went on his feet when Jannik Sinner was able to hold his service game.
Yes, you do have to keep an eye on the players' boxes as well as the Royal box for celebrities these days. Lots of Wimbledon champions in the Royal box. Pat Cash could have been there today, but you actually chose us and went in on Friday instead, didn't you, for men's semi-finals
day? I like it here with you guys.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Pat.
Yeah.
And Marion was there yesterday for the ladies' singles final. Today we have Andre Agassi, Stefan Edberg, Chris Evert, Leighton Hewitt, Jan Kodesh, Richard Krajicek and Stan Smith, all Wimbledon champions in the box. Backhand reply here from Sinner. Alcaraz doesn't catch the forehand cleanly. A lot of power on these forehands from Sinner, but Alcaraz is back in the rally, and that's a glorious forehand down the line, which Sinner can only send 1 bounce on the backhand into the net.
15 love.
Love. Alcaraz. In the very, very early stages of the final. 7 minutes in. 5 hours and 22 to go if the French Open final is anything to go by. Service winner from Alcaraz. We wouldn't expect it to be as long on a grass court, of course. But never say never.
You never know. You never know. You just quite never know with those two.
Alcaraz at the far end. If he wins a 3rd Wimbledon title, he'll draw level with Boris Becker and John McEnroe, who's in the commentary box this afternoon for television. Forehand netted there by Sinner. Wipes his brow with his right arm, which carries that compression sleeve. And a 6th Grand Slam title would draw him level again with Boris Becker and also with Stefan Edberg. Half volley forehand Alcaraz, backhand from Sinner. Forehand cross-court Alcaraz is long.
I think it's fair to say that neither of the players at the beginning of this match are hitting very cleanly from the back of the court. There is not extended long rallies. They're just trying to find their feet. Their respected serves are sort of saving them from having to defend any break points. But so far, both of the players are feeling the nerves.
Forehand return from Sinner. Backhand cross-court Alcaraz. Sinner with the backhand. Alcaraz misses the forehand cross-court. Hits it into the net.
Again, on that last forehand, Carlos is really having the upper hand on that rally. Jannik is just in front of her, sliding into that backhand and almost losing a little bit of that footwork. So Carlos really had the space to hit a forehand winner cross-court and just missing the net.
1 game point left for Alcaraz, who held to love in his opening service game. Backhand reply into the net from Sinner. Alcaraz holds. 2-1. And little drama so far, Gigi.
It's 2 games to 1.
Plenty of time for that to come. Right, let's get back to Lords and news of a wicket, Ellie.
It's 9 down for England now, 185 for 9. Jasprit Bumrah has been absolutely brilliant since tea. They've lost 3 wickets since the interval, and it's Shoaib Bashir, the last man in, who's walking out to join Jofra Archer. 185 is the lead, and 185 for 9 is the score.
Ellie, thank you. Cricket continuing on Sports Extra. Now, due to leave his role at the end of the season is one of Jannik Sinner's 2 coach, Darren Cahill, which means he's in the box for a penultimate Grand Slam as his full-time coach. And here's Darren Cahill on how he believes that Jannik Sinner dealt with the gut-wrenching defeat in Paris.
I would have been heartbroken after losing a final match points the way it went down, but he sees the big picture really well, and that's part of the reason why he's able to bounce back so quickly and do as well as he has here. We had a little bit of luck against Grigor, and he's been able to make the most of that luck, and everyone goes through a tournament with a little bit of a hiccup, and he had his hiccup, so hopefully he can play at his very best against Carlos. But it doesn't surprise me because we continually get surprised by what he's able to achieve on the court. 4 finals in a row, it's amazing. So close to winning 3 in a row in Paris, and now he has another chance here a few weeks later. So congrats to Jannik, he's an amazing young man.
He is an amazing young man, just 23 years of age, and he's stepping up to serve 1-2 down in the first set.
Jannik Sinner serving towards the roll box, and a serve directed well to the forehand of Alcaraz, who does not time that cleanly. Interestingly, Pat, in that interview, which was with Darren Cahill and Simone Vagnozzi, there was definitely some talk about Darren Cahill, who I know you know very well, staying on. And when I asked him directly, he said, look, a year is a long time. I'm not going to rule anything out at this stage. So it's possible that partnership endures as Sinner nets with a first serve.
Yeah, I think Darren's a bit sick of being on the road. It's intense out there. So it'd be silly not to have him at some stage in the team. Maybe you could reduce their weeks. But you also need to do a good job. So you need weeks on the road to be able to work on things. So it's finding the right balance.
Second serve for Sinner, and Alcaraz doesn't get that clean contact he was looking for once again, and nets on the forehand.
And it's so interesting to see that Carlos Ferrero has been working so hard on Alcaraz serve, and respectively, Darren Cahill has been doing the exact same thing with Jannik Sinner, just seeing the bigger picture of, yes, of course, you're a great ball striker from the back of the court, but you need that serve to function. You need to be able to place it better, to have a better percentage of first serve as well, but to be a lot more accurate, because otherwise top players just like Novak Djokovic will be able to pick up on your serve. And that's really has been the long time work that Darren has been doing for the past 3 years now.
30 love, Sinner, backhand framed by Alcaraz.
40 love.
Because it's pretty rare to see Carlos not being able to contact properly on the return of serve on a lot of occasions, just like we're seeing already today.
Thank you.
3 game points for Sinner. Forehand blocked back by Alcaraz. Sinner with a forehand cross court. Alcaraz rather shanks a forehand over the baseline. 2 games all.
Yeah, it's interesting, the serve stuff. I talked to Darren quite a bit about the serve, and I just sent my feedback to him, being a technical geek, after the French Open, and Darren agreed with me. He said he's having a bit of a conflict with the team about what to do. I think personally that he gets too far early. His body weight comes a little too far early. He's has to improve that service percentage 10% or so to be unbeatable. His serve tends to go up and down a little bit, Jannik, and so far so good.
What would you correct technically on this serve?
He goes forward a little too early with his body weight, just a fraction early. Yeah, rock back, and he goes forward very quickly. He doesn't let the ball go up and down. He hits it at the peak. And we sort of agreed on that, and he says, yeah, I would like him more to serve the first serve, like the second serve.
Excellent return here from Sinner onto the baseline. Alcaraz with the forehand. Sinner's backhand down the line onto the sideline. There is the volley from Sinner, coming in at just the right moment after a slice forehand approach by Alcaraz. And it's love 15 on the Spaniard's serve for the first time in the match.
Just being so explosive on the footwork, Russ, in that occasion, because the backhand is well struck down the line, but he's starting 1 meter behind the baseline after that backhand. So he had to sprint really forward at full pace, and being able to stop and hit that drop volley, that was a very difficult shot to execute.
Love 15. Sinner, forehand, not hit cleanly, but lands in. Forehand cross-court from Sinner with more power. Alcaraz down the middle with a forehand. On the move, swings a forehand cross-court, does the Spaniard. And Sinner goes long.
He's a bit overexcited on that one, wasn't he, Jannik? He saw the line, he thought, I can hit that one. Just caught it a little early. And wrapping it around the frame a fraction. But his intent is anything that's short, I am really going to go for it and get Carlos on the move in a hurry.
15 all. Alcaraz misses the first serve. He was in the same Italian restaurant as us in Southfields near the All England Club on Friday night. I'm told he ordered pizza and risotto and ice with no water. This was after his semi-final victory over Taylor Fritz, and Juan Carlos Ferrero was there.
Ice with no water?
Many of the entourage... Sorry, did I say ice with no water? Water with no ice. Apologies. Backhand cross-court from Alcaraz, who's now on the move to hit the forehand down the line. Very, very short. Real power from Sinner, and the pass from Alcaraz. Down the line, backhand winner. First shot fired in anger.
Again, just the court movement and the ability to absorb the pace and hold that outside left leg remind us of Novak Djokovic doing that over and over again. Just when you come to the back and you think you have hit a good shot, and they're capable of, with that left hand help, of placing almost that passing shot down the line. Just a beauty.
30-15 Alcaraz, and serving and missing. But the restaurant he chose is a popular place for many people to go. Fans, media. You would have thought maybe he'd be looking for somewhere a little grander.
I don't think he's high maintenance. I think
No,
it's
he's
very
not
easy
at all.
going.
Absolutely not. And posed as Sinner goes long for photographs with members of staff and fellow diners, and he looked completely relaxed, and he seemed like he had time for everyone.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I think that he's got that from Rafa, really. Rafa was the great role model in that regards. Always taking a photo.
40-15, Alcaraz towards the backhand of Sinner. Good return this, and Sinner's got a short put away, whips the forehand cross-court to keep the game alive.
Great return. Straight down the line. Alcaraz backhand, rushed him, got the short reply, and this time picked the right side.
He's starting to return a lot better now, Jannik Sinner. It took him really 2 return of serve game to have the eye-hand coordination going, speed step at the right time. He's really starting to time a lot more returns now.
1 game point remaining for 22-year-old Carlos Alcaraz from El Palmar in Murcia in southeastern Spain. Second serve on this hot afternoon on centre court on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Aggressive return from Sinner, and now his backhand down the line gets him to juice for the first time as Alcaraz hits the deck, but he springs up again very quickly.
It all starts from the return pad when he just pushed back Carlos Alcaraz, who can only reply it back, and then he has the opening down the line to the forehand. That's where he's so good, because he's not afraid, Sinner, to go down the line, because he knows he has the power, even though that's going to the forehand of Alcaraz, to really be able to hit a winner, and hit through him.
That's not one of his best shots, even a year ago.
Forehand return by Sinner. Alcaraz nets. On the backhand.
Advantage, Sinner.
Just a difference in the return quality in that game compared to the first 2 games of Alcaraz, when he was really comfortable with his service game, marching through them. And all of a sudden, Sinner just making every single return in the court with interest.
We have the first break point of the final. After 19 minutes, it goes to the world number 1, Jannik Sinner, in his first Wimbledon title. Second serve for Alcaraz. as the sun briefly goes behind a cloud. Second serve to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz break point down, hits the forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz cross court and he makes the error. The forehand is long. Sinner clenching his fist. He strikes first and leads 3-2 in this first set, Gigi.
I was still thinking about that ice with no water, but Annabelle alongside me, you were feeling the nerves at the start of that, and you were saying that Jannik Sinner, you could see, was taking longer to settle, but boy, has he settled.
Oh, he's definitely settled. I mean, he is middling this ball, and I think that's what's so spectacular about what he does on a tennis court, is this explosive nature of the ball out of the strings. And he's really starting to, as Pat and Marion were saying, return so efficiently. He's reading the serve patterns. I think some of the quality of the serving just dropped off a tiny bit in that last service game for Alcaraz, and it was enough for Sinner to pounce. I mean, he really got hold of some of those serve returns and got it right deep to the baseline and piled the pressure on Alcaraz. And of course, the backhand up the line has really come into play big time. You know, a couple of times he's just caught Alcaraz out with that shot, and once he pins Alcaraz deep into that corner, I mean, he almost fell over on, well, he did sort of fall over on one of those shots. So, yeah, Sinner looking a very cool cucumber out here at the moment.
Yeah, he really is. His box keep leaping up and down and jumping and hooping and hollering, apart from Jannik Sinner's father, who's very composed in the back row of the box. But it is advantage, Russell, to the Italian with the first break.
Jannik Sinner's dad missed the Roland Garros final, didn't he, because he was working, and instead it was Mum whose agony was being broadcast to millions of people around.
Amazing,
So if he's looking chilled, then he doesn't have quite the same 5 hours and 29 minutes to get over as his wife. But their boy has the advantage, 3-2. Serving now from the raw box end and moving 15-love in front as Carlos Alcaraz hits a forehand into the net.
Another forehand. It's a lot of forehand errors from Carlos.
.21 minutes played. 8 o'clock tonight on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. It's England against Wales from St Gallen and the Women's Euros. England need to win to qualify for the quarter-finals. Wales need to win by 4 goals and hope the other result goes their way. Long with the return, Alcaraz and Sinner now with a chance to consolidate that break of serve.
It's interesting, Ross, because it's sort of noticeable, but it doesn't show it that much. But every single time Sinner is winning the point, it just cleans the racket. Not the fist pump, but just the racket that is saying, come on, one more point, one more point, one more point.
3-2, 30-love, chop back on the backhand by Alcaraz. Sinner down the line, Alcaraz cross-court. Sinner cross-court with a forehand and wide.
I think maybe one thing he has learned from that Roland Garros final is to be a little bit more showing his emotions. Of course, we're all talking about Jannik Sinner, so he's not going to throw massive commands, but just making sure he puts a little bit more pressure with his body language on Carlos Alcaraz, and very much so now that he has a breakup.
Sinner 30-15. To the forehand of Alcaraz. Pushed back a couple of steps, Sinner, before hitting another forehand. Now stretching Alcaraz wide. The backhand cross-court. He's moving Alcaraz around, but the Spaniard is equal to it and wins the point as Sinner puts too much on that backhand, which sails a couple of feet over the baseline.
Well, he looked to sneak in there.
He hesitated a little bit.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as good a approach shot as he wanted. Jannik Sinner hit it cross-court. Sort of took a step forward, but the reply came back deep across court, and it sort of just caught him slightly out of position with that final backhand. But I think the intentions are right from Sinner. He's looking to, get in and not let Alcaraz get back into the rally, if at all possible.
30 all, 2 points in a row for Alcaraz as Sinner misses the first serve. Sinner's dropped just 2 sets to reach the final. And they were the first 2 sets of that 4th round match against Grigol Dimitrov, which ended at 2-all in the third because of Dimitrov's retirement as he damaged the pec muscle after serving a 14th ace. Forehand from Alcaraz, drop shot from Sinner. Alcaraz so quick, gets there. The volley cross-court from Sinner. He's out of Alcaraz's reach.
Gee, he almost got that, didn't he, as well, Alcaraz? He's so quick.
Well, that was pretty good volley skills right there, but just the control of the racket head, being able to direct that ball cross-court, because Carlos Alcaraz was putting a lot of pressure with his court movement, chasing that drop shot. He really didn't have that much space to hit that great volley cross court. That was great racket head work. And again, just clinching the fist towards his player's box, just making sure he's showing them that he's there for the fight, and this time he's going to come as a winner.
Game point Sinner for 4-2. It's an ace.
That serve accuracy on the left side, on the ad court, which is once again, let's remember how the way the scoring system works in tennis. You have only one chance to win the game on the right side. You have two chances and multiple if you go advantage on the left side. So that left side serve is crucial if you want to be able to be a great server. And that accuracy on the out wide serve has been absolutely outstanding this year in the championship. It has been moving and improving so much over the past 3 years.
Good serve down the middle, very well returned by Sinner, and an aggressive forehand drive volley by Alcaraz to the very back of the court.
15 love.
Yeah, not a traditional serve volley, but serve. Notice the ball was floating high, just continued his serve follow through and thumped that drive volley.
Something that Alcaraz has been doing fairly frequently during the championships, maybe less so the serve volley against Jannik Sinner today. 15 love, but a breakdown in the first set, Alcaraz. Backhand reply from Sinner, forehand Alcaraz. Sinner down the line with the backhand. Alcaraz cross-court with the forehand. Real power on that forehand cross-court from Sinner.
Goodness.
And Alcaraz has gone just long.
How you can slide on grass, being completely open stand, and just rip the forehand cross-court like Sinner just did in the previous shot. I mean, that's a clay court shot, not a grass court shot. And it makes it look so easy. It's almost impossible to slide on grass.
It's left its mark, hasn't it?
It did. And no way impossible to slide on grass.
Good job. This is the final match of the championship. Service winner from Alcaraz as Sinner just gets the frame of his racket to the ball and sends it into the second or third row of spectators sitting underneath the American TV commentary box and the players' box. That's something that Alcaraz loves. He loves the Sinner slide. He's always very complimentary about it and says how extraordinary it is that he can do that on a grass surface, a hard court surface. We're used to seeing it on a clay court surface. So Alcaraz at 30-15 and 2-4 down. Second serve, backhand Sinner, forehand Alcaraz straight down the middle. Sinner was cramped for room but has replied well. Forehand Alcaraz on the attack and hits that past the forehand blow of Jannik Sinner.
Wow.
He's just going to go bigger now, Alcaraz.
That's the first really big point, as Marion said. He just went hard and harder, and those three shots there were absolutely flat out.
Just took that last one so early as well.
2 game points. Forehand Alcaraz cross court. Sinner with a forehand. The drop shot from Alcaraz. It's a little bit too deep, and Sinner goes down the line and actually misses the backhand to everyone's surprise. And Alcaraz holds.
He actually ran. He got there so quickly. He actually ran into the ball a little bit. Wasn't as good a drop shot as he thought.
Now, as we have a few seconds here at Change of Ends, we just wanted to take a moment to wish a very happy retirement to one of our engineers, Kevin Long, who is the longest serving member of the 5 Live Wimbledon team, having first worked on the championships in 1987.
Oh, good year that year.
The year that Pat Cash won the title on centre court.
Well, I might have to announce my retirement as well. I thought you were going to announce my retirement. Sometimes you get fired by text these days.
Fired by text.
I think after
Russell's
all,
going to tell me on air that I'm gone.
Sometimes you get
years,
done
Pat,
by text.
We would at least write you a letter. But we're hoping that Kev, who may well have been making sure that the commentary of your famous victory was preserved for years to come in the BBC archives in 1987, we hope he will be back. He's been a great member of the team to work with, so I think we'd all like to thank him for the support, your company, Kev, your sense of humour, and for very much giving us our voice over the past 38 years. And you will be missed, and I don't want to spoil your retirement, but you would also be very welcome back if we can perhaps tempt you out of retirement for a couple of weeks every summer.
Good on you, Kev. Good luck, buddy.
4-3. Jannik Sinner has the break, and England are all out at Lords. Eleanor Oldroyd.
Yes, they are all out for 192. Washington Sundar finishing with 4 wickets. He has been the star, really, of this final session for India. Shoaib Bashir, the last man out, for 2. England all out for 192, so India's target will be 193.
And you can hear ball by ball commentary on Test Match Special on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Here in the men's singles final at Wimbledon, Jannik Sinner leads Carlos Alcaraz by 4 games to 3 after 29 minutes. He has the break. He's serving at 15 love. And Pat Cash and Marion Bartley, 2 Wimbledon champions, with us here in the 5 Live commentary box. Close to the royal box, about 12 feet above the court surface. And we're watching Jannik Sinner at the far end of the court serve towards Carlos Alcaraz and miss that first serve. Backhand reply from Alcaraz, the backhand from Sinner. Alcaraz's backhand down the centre. The forehand from Sinner catches the tape and lands over. And an aggressive deep slice forehand from Alcaraz, who now plays the most ridiculous volley, which defies the law of science.
That's what we talked about in the build-up to this match, Ross. He has that capability to create angles that normally just don't exist on the tennis court. You just can't hit a ball there. That's just not possible. That ball just barely passed the net. That's a part of the court that normally you have never have a tennis ball landing there. And only Carlos Alcaraz is able to just hit that kind of shot.
Such an extreme angle with that backhand cross-court volley. I dare say if anybody else in the world had hit it, you would assume it had come off the racket frame, but not with Carlos Alcaraz. It's 15-all now on the Sinner serve. Forehand to the back of the court by Alcaraz. His backhand is onto the Sinner forehand. Sinner drops a little bit short. Alcaraz goes down the line. Alcaraz with a forehand to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz cross-court with a forehand. Sinner's cross-court forehand. Alcaraz down the line, but Sinner is there on the backhand. Now the Italian hits the forehand cross-court. They're slapping the ball across the net. And Sinner breaks down first of all with a forehand miss-hit. And Alcaraz is really coming to the party now.
The pace of that rally was just ridiculous. They were playing table tennis. It was not tennis. They're basically just taking the ball on the top of the bounce every single time, hitting the hardest space you can possibly imagine. This ridiculous tennis.
You felt they might have been pacing themselves a little bit in the first 15 or 20 minutes, knowing the length of their matches, but it's coming, if not to the boil yet, to a very enjoyable simmer. And it's 15-30 down Sinner. He's a break up. He's gone long with the forehand. And Alcaraz now with 2 break-back points in this first set.
15-14.
Good return. Deep, it just popped a little bit, that return. Right back to the foot marks of where the players follow through after the serve. Some brown patches there. And it just jumped a little high. Sinner miscued it fractionally.
Break back point number 1 for the champion of the past 2 years.
Whoa.
Second serve. Break back point Alcaraz. Backhand return. Backhand from Sinner into the net.
It's interesting after that very long rallies that Sinner is missing on the second ball after the serve. Just giving 2 unfair serves back to back. Leaping a little bit with that hip as well. Going into the towel box. Ross, after those 2 points, those 2 unfair errors, we know sometimes he has that pain coming on and off during a match.
We'll keep an eye on that. This seems cruel, Pat, but I'm sure you said that after half an hour you would know who was going to win. And it's 4 games all in the first set.
Come on, Pat.
I know, but I'm not
he's not going to let you go.
I'm not going to tell everybody.
Back on serve we are. And Alcaraz just about gets out of the way of that forehand cross-court return by Sinner, which is 18 inches over the baseline. Millions watching around the world, as well as the 15,000 on centre court. Many more on Henman Hill here at Wimbledon. As Alcaraz puts a first serve into the net. And I dare say there'll be some watching, many hundreds, maybe a couple of thousand at the Hill in New York, which is set up for finals weekend. That takes place in Brooklyn Bridge Park on the banks of the East River. Heavy hitting from Sinner. forehand cross-court into the corner to win the points.
It's so interesting to see so far that when Jannik Sinner is capable of taking the ball a fraction earlier and really move forward towards the forehand of Alcaraz, that's where he's creating the most of the damage. But if he goes just toe-to-toe from the back of the court, especially since being 2-4 down, Alcaraz has been middling the ball slightly better and he's taking a little bit of an edge.
4 games all, 15 all. Alcaraz nets. Second serve is also into the net, so 15, a double fault, 13. Which is the first we've seen in the match so far.
He just went for a big second serve, 118 miles per hour, but the ball toss was so far in front that it was just a little bit too low for him to be able to get over the net.
So 15-30, having just got the break back, Alcaraz under a little bit of pressure and missing that first serve once again. The Hill in New York, very much a nod to the final Grand Slam of the year, which will begin at the Billie Jean King National Tennis Centre on Sunday, August the 24th. Excellent serve here from Alcaraz. What a second serve, working Sinner a long way out wide to his backhand from where he cannot make the return in play.
Yeah. Sinner's coming up to the baseline to return their second serves, and quite often they come into the body or the forehand, but when he's got that much bounce and kick and it's a wide serve, that is unbelievable second serve at that speed.
4 all, 30 all, forehand reply from Sinner. Alcaraz with the backhand winner. That ball was on him in a flash, but he had the presence of mind and the timing to steer the backhand away.
But the same one he missed, actually, to give Sinner a break point, a 2-all, 30-40, at the exact same return when Sinner is just pull out one to the forehand and hit the hardest ball he can down to the middle. Incredible pickup from Alcaraz.
Game point for Alcaraz. And I should say before I forget that if you've enjoyed our coverage of Wimbledon over the past couple of weeks, then we do a similar thing at the US Open and at all the Grand Slams. Alcaraz hitting the sideline, that's an ace. Coverage will start on Sunday, August the 24th on 5 Live, 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds.
4 minutes to 5 o'clock. The full-time whistle has gone in Liverpool's pre-season friendly, and watching for us has been Mike Miney.
Yeah, Liverpool have beaten Preston 3-1 in their first pre-season friendly. Bradley, Nunez and Gakpo with the goals for the Premier League champions, who were playing their first game since that sad passing of forward Diogo Jota 10 days ago. The fans, players and staff paying tribute to him beautifully before the game with a rendition of You'll Never Walk Alone. During the game and now after the game, they're stood on the edge of the 18-yard box, the players, the management staff, facing the Liverpool fans behind the goal to my left-hand side as Diogo Jota's anthem, his club anthem, rings out, and they're all just in unison remembering their colleague, but also a player that the fans love to watch as well. In the game we've seen some young talent, new signings too, on a sunny afternoon at Deepdale, but football was always second here. It was about the memory of Diogo Jota. Liverpool have won it 3-1.
Mike, thank you very much. Back here at SW19, back on serve after a break apiece. Now from serving with the break, Jannik Sinner is serving at 4-5 to stay in the set.
Very different feeling for him. He won the first 2 sets of that French Open final 5 weeks ago, 6-4, 7-6, and had those 3 championship points in the 4th set. And the chance slipped away. It's really only Carlos Alcaraz that has troubled Jannik Sinner in the last 9 or 10 months. Backhand from Sinner cross-court, but he's overdone that, and he needs to be very careful here at 4-5, love 15.
And he had the space, really, because that return from Carlos was, for once, really not that deep. And sort of overcooking that last backhand, almost fearing the defense from Carlos Alcaraz and going for too much.
Love 15 down as Sinner serves to stay in the first set of the Wimbledon final. Misses the first serve. Very brief glance towards the player's box. The second serve is deep. Backhand reply from Alcaraz is also to the back of the court. Forehand from Sinner cross-court. Alcaraz on the move, swinging the ball cross-court. Real power on the forehand down the line by Sinner. But Alcaraz looks to have plenty of time. His forehand is now pushing Sinner back. Alcaraz down the line with the backhand.
He's
just missed.
Oh, that was such a close call.
15-all.
That was the right shot to play. He had to play that shot at that moment. He really had the space. He created himself the space to go down the line with the backhand.
A moment of intense relief, I'm sure, for Jannik Sinner, who was shaking his racket hand there, which is what we often see for him when he's won a crucial point. It's 15-all. It's a forehand from Alcaraz into the net.
He's not afraid to go right at the forehand on the serve, Sinner, because usually you would think, well, that's by far the best shot of Carlos Alcaraz, so I'm going to protect myself and serve more to the backhand. But
I think I think it's absolutely the spot to go. The problem is Jannik, he doesn't have a lot of slice. It's to really cut off the. So if he doesn't hit the spot exactly, it's going to go straight onto Alcaraz forehand. So it's dangerous.
Great serve from Sinner. Drive volley, which he's missed, which he's lifted over the baseline on the forehand, and Alcaraz is 2 points away from the first set.
It's so rare to see Sinner slowing down the racket head on that forehand when usually can create so much racket speed. And you can see a little bit of tension on Darren Carey's face as well after that last mistake.
I think he was in two minds. When he saw it coming, I think he thought it was a normal volley put away, realised it wasn't. And he had to drive volley it. As you said, didn't really get hit through it fast enough.
30-all. Alcaraz with a second serve to look at here. He's 2 points away from the opening set. Forehand reply from the Spaniard. Sinner's forehand cross-court. Drop shot. Alcaraz to win the point as Sinner slips. Gives Alcaraz a thumbs up with his left thumb to say he's fine, but as he tried to chase down a drop shot I suspect he would not have reached, he slipped, and Carlos Alcaraz has set point.
Out of nowhere, really being down 2-4, Carlos Alcaraz, and since then hasn't lost a game. He can potentially clinch his fourth game in a row to get that first set 6-4.
Set points Alcaraz after 42 minutes on centre court. Sinner's first serve is into the net.
Please, thank you.
Second serve. Alcaraz with the set point. On return. Backhand. Into the net from Alcaraz.
Great body serve, though.
Yeah,
Wasn't it probably the first one of the match that he's done and saved it for the big point?
I think Carlos will want to have that return back because he was expecting to have a much more kicker serve going a lot more to his back and didn't really get himself in position for that body serve, which was gutsy from Jannik Sinner, who hasn't hit that serve at all since the beginning of this match.
Set point saved. Can Sinner extricate himself from this service game at 4-5 and deuce? Another first serve into the net. Sinner's second serve. Long. Double fault. His first of the match, and it's presented Alcaraz with a second set point.
Yeah, just gone off the serve, isn't it, the last couple of games? Got to hang in here.
And you just heard Darren Cahill just urging his player to keep going. Here you go, mate.
Set point number 2, courtesy of the Sinner double fault. First serve in. No, just missing down the tee. Second serve. Set point down for a second time. He's gone big with the second serve. Forehand from Sinner. Forehand cross-court from Alcaraz right to the back of the court. Alcaraz lining up the forehand down the line. Sinner cross-court with the forehand. He's got Alcaraz on the move. Sinner now with a chance to hit the forehand, but he hits it straight back at the Alcaraz forehand. Sinner down the line. Alcaraz has got the backhand in play. And he's won the set.
How is that even possible? The forehand go on their feet, because he was able to get that ball back over the net, and that was a winner if you would have been able to get that ball over the net. But it's impossible. Russell, it's humanly impossible to get that ball over the net.
We've said that many times about Carlos Alcaraz. Arm aloft in celebration. Carlos Alcaraz wins 4 games in a row and comes from 2-4 down to take the first set of the Wimbledon final against Jannik Sinner by 6 games to 4.
It looks like Carlos Alcaraz is going to take his leave from the court, which gives us an opportunity. Annabelle, if you could just put into words what you've just seen.
Oh, it was jaw-dropping. I literally can't believe what we just witnessed out there. I mean, the level is so extraordinarily high from everyone. That's why the reaction of the crowd is quite something to listen to, because their jaws are on the floor watching what we've just seen. I mean, it's quite incredible that Alcaraz was able to come back from a breakdown, but also he played one exquisite volley, didn't he, to kind of turn that game that he ended up getting the break back. And then we've just seen, as Marianne said, just an incredible forehand down the line from Sinner, and how Alcaraz read it, and then that versatility that he has in the wrist, where he opens up the wrist and just was able to kind of do something a little bit different with that backhand cross court, very Federer-esque the way he dealt with that, and that was a special moment that we've just witnessed. And wow, I mean, this crowd are really being treated. They're getting their money's worth today.
Yeah, they really are. Carlos Alcaraz didn't leave the court in the end. The players will resume. We're going to take a short breather from centre court, but we'll be back as the second set gets underway. But 6 minutes past 5, let's bring you some news headlines here on 5 Live with Al Tansley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Israel has blamed what it called a technical error for the deaths of 10 Palestinians in Gaza. The Civil Defense Agency, which is run by Hamas, says 6 children are among the dead after a strike on a water collection point. The BBC understands a child has died at Alder Hey Hospital in Liverpool after contracting measles. The hospital says the highly contagious virus is on the rise among young people in the region, and it's seen a surge in seriously unwell children being admitted. The EU has delayed imposing tariffs on imports from the US after President Trump threatened higher taxes on European goods if no trade agreement is reached. The new rates were due to come into force on Tuesday, but now won't come in until the 1st of August, when US tariffs of up to 30% could be imposed. And the heatwave has continued across the UK before getting cooler tomorrow. Yesterday, Northern Ireland, Scotland and Wales all recorded their highest temperatures of the year so far.
On Radio 4, the more you listen, the more you see. I'm Mariana Spring, the BBC's social media investigations correspondent. In my podcast, I've been investigating what happened to the daughter of a conspiracy theorist who died having rejected chemotherapy.
It would mean the world to me if I could make it that she wasn't just another in the long line of people that die in this way.
How does this reflect the rise of health conspiracy theories on social media and beyond? The new series of Mariana in Conspiracy Land. Listen on BBC Sounds.
Wimbledon 2025 with Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
And we'll be back to the tennis, the final between Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner very shortly, after we've got the very latest from Lords with Ellie.
And the India run chase is underway. 193 required, and they about to lose their first wicket. And Jofra Archer strikes to dismiss Yashasvi Jaiswal for a duck. Big moment for England. And in an hour and 20 minutes of play this evening, England have struck the first blow. India 5 for 1, chasing 193.
Ellie, thank you very much. Don't forget England-Wales to come from the Euros this evening from 8 o'clock. But early breakpoint opportunities, David Law, on centre.
3 of them for Jannik Sinner, having lost that first set by 6 games to 4. It's not like he's come flying out of the blocks as much as Carlos Alcaraz has suddenly just started to struggle to find his range on his serve, as though he's had a little bit of a letdown just momentarily. And he's gone love 40 down, now back to 15-40 after a good serve. What do you think, Pat?
Oh, it's terrible pushy return there from Jannik. Love 40, just tried to block the ball forehand, return back. You don't get too many opportunities. He's got another second serve now. Just Carlos' serve, double fault, unforced forehand error.
So 2 break points immediately for Sinner to make an impact here in set number 2. Inside out backhand by Alcaraz. Then a drop shot, and on his knees is Sinner as he slips. Thing is, you don't know that shot's coming, do you, till the very last second, and then you try to set off.
That's the thing. His disguise is crazy. I mean, he's hit so many forehands from there, just drive to either corner, and Jannik thought there was going to be another one of those, and he just, the last second, just changed his grip, opens the face of the racket and hits it. He may not even got there. It was so good.
I don't think I've ever seen a player, as he serves at the body, Alcaraz, with still break point against him. Forehand from
Sinner
is out from Alcaraz. There's the break for Sinner. He needed that.
That was 140 miles per hour first serve that somehow Jannik Sinner got back. And the problem on those drop shots, the reason why Jannik Sinner is losing his footwork is because as he split backwards. Therefore, your body weight is going backwards as you split to be ready for the next shot. And then you're seeing the drop shot forward. So you're shifting your body weight forward. And on the grass, it's just not forgiven. You're going to slip and you're going to fall. But that shows the mentality of Jannik from 4-2 up has been going a little bit into conservative mode. And we talked about the fact that he has to be in that attacking mode. He can't play those neutral rallies because that's where Carlos Alcaraz is really able to dictate and play the drop shots and everything. So very much to be able to break the first game of that second set should help Sinner to get back on track in being the most aggressive player out of the two.
Sinner at the far end now, changing ends after the first game in which he's broken immediately. Alcaraz with a passing shot on the line with a forehand pat. And these two just keep on bringing it.
There wasn't much room, was there? And a good approach shot. Jannik's come into the backhand and been burnt by that one. Just, very minimal swing off the backhand. Same thing there. Just a quick whip around with the racket on the forehand side. So even Sinner's fantastic approach shots. He's just so quick at picking the side and changing directions.
15,000 pairs of eyes staring at the two best male players on the planet, who have won the last 6 Grand Slam singles titles between them. 3 on hard courts at the Australian Open and US Open for Sinner, Wimbledon and the French Open for Alcaraz. And there's a return long from Alcaraz, who started the slower of the two. He got broken in that first set, but the level he found from 4-2 down.
Insane.
I don't think there is a level comparable from any other player.
You know what struck me the most, David, is at 5-4 for Alcaraz set point against anyone. Sinner would have saved that save point with that forehand down the line, and somehow in complete full stretch, having his hand on the floor, he's able to get that ball back and win the set, Alcaraz. And only him can come up with those shots. And that's where it's so difficult for Sinner to keep having the upper hand in the match, because out of nowhere, Alcaraz is just bringing shots it's impossible normally to hit. That forehand down the line passing shot, this one now just cross-court with the backhand. 15-30 down, he has done nothing wrong in this game, Jannik Sinner.
Well, one of the issues is that Jannik doesn't have a great drop shot. Not as good as Carlos. It's decent drop shot. So Carlos knows that if he can just cover the lateral part of the court, then he's going to be okay on a passing shot. Doesn't have to come forward.
And we've seen Alcaraz make Sinner slip a couple of times. I don't think I've ever seen a player go from sledgehammer all-out power on the forehand to soft as a feather drop shot within the same two-shot combination. Backhand clips the top of the net from Alcaraz and comes back his own side, and he admonishes himself.
Well, I actually like that shot. I mean, I think it's sort of part of the game plan was to try and slice some balls low in the middle of the court to Sinner. And that's what Dimitrov did so well against him, just really had him off-balanced, and Jannik really struggled, but he hasn't had the chance because Sinner's been hitting the ball so hard. So that was one, and he's missed the slice. Carlos, by a little bit, just clipped the top of the net.
A body serve from Sinner. Now he hits that drop shot. Alcaraz has got there. He parries it down the line, and then he makes Sinner miss with the backhand on the line. And Sinner has his hands on his hips, and he's really disappointed with himself.
Well, he had the space. He had the space because Carlos committed cross-court very early on. And Darren Cahill is just having one of those faces thinking you can't miss a shot like that in the final of Wimbledon. Jannik, you have to make it.
Yeah, it was almost too easy, wasn't it? As you said, Carlos just hit the wide forehand and he moved straight across the court to cover that, and there was the whole side of the court. All he had to do is just keep his eye on the ball and get a bit of racket head speed.
Immediate break-back point chance for Alcaraz, but there's a good first serve that finds the corner from Sinner just in the nick of time, and the return's long.
Yeah, his service percentage was up in the sort of high 60s at the beginning of the match, and now it's 57%, Jannik. So that's caused the problems at the end of the set. And this is the issue that I've discussed with Darren Cahill about. He needs to be up 5%, maybe 10% more on his serve to be really able to consistently beat the best players.
Lob lifted by Alcaraz, but it'll be put away by Sinner, who made that first serve again. We saw the puff of chalk, which tells us that it was in.
And one thing that is quite interesting, because normally on grass, especially when you serve like Sinner, which is constantly around the 130 miles per hour, you will have a percentage of first serve point one, which will be around the 75%, 80%. It's only at 52% for the match, 40% for this set. So it's very low for someone who can serve so hard. So once again, it's just Alcaraz, that court coverage and the reaction time.
And there is that reaction time again. He gets the ball back, and now he's read the shot from Sinner, but Sinner's forehand has too much juice on it. And that is a hold, and a big hold.
That's basically what Novak has been doing to Roger year after year after year. He's just being able to, on those great serve from Roger, against anyone will not come back, forcing him to go for more, to go for an extra shot. And we've seen that now with Alcaraz, and that ability not only to get there with the legs, but to read the play as well. I think something that is always underestimated with him is that capability has to anticipate the trajectory. That it just gives you so much more ball back to have a play at.
First serve made by Alcaraz. He tries to serve and volley, and then he tries for a delicate little backhand drop volley, but he puts it into the net this time.
Isn't this it's a classic case of one guy who's just constantly there all the time, Sinner, with level heart, barely drops, and one guy who's got that extra turbo button, doesn't he, that he can just produce it, but sometimes he's a bit up and down, and here we've seen he's going up and down here. Double fault, unforced error, bad drop volley now.
It's a high wire act that Carlos Alcaraz is trying to pull off.
That was almost another double fault.
124 miles per hour on that second serve.
And when Alcaraz pulls it off, nobody can go with him.
No.
But you can't do that all the time. It makes it intriguing. Serve out wide from Alcaraz is returned by Sinner, who's at love 15 on his serve here, and now love 30. He drags
down the line.
Out of court, Alcaraz nets halfway up the net, and he's rocking a little.
Again, David, that same pattern, just Sinner refusing to just go backhand to backhand cross court. As soon as he has the space, he just lean forward on that front leg and just unleash that backhand down the line, which is so precise, so close to the sideline that even Alcaraz can't defend it.
Forehand is blasted back at Alcaraz by Sinner's forehand. Then he goes deep with the backhand. He's staying stable here. Is Jannik Sinner of Italy. That's what he does all the time. Backhand chip cross court by Alcaraz. Now he goes down the middle with that floating shot, and it's attacked by Sinner, who's now repelling by this incredible shot from Alcaraz, who goes with a drop volley cross court. From Sinner, and he just misses. But the artistry of Alcaraz to come up with these combinations.
How is that even possible? That he's only 1 meter inside the court and he can play the most delicate backhand volley, short cross court. He's so far from the net to play that volley. Alcaraz, he shouldn't be allowed to even find an angle there. He's not even inside the service square to play that last backhand volley.
He says, Alcaraz, I just have to remind myself always to go for it. Well, he goes for it, all right. He comes in behind a little chip forehand, and he sort of foxes Sinner there because Sinner thought that it was going to be a drop shot, took a step forward, and instead he went for the fake drop shot, Alcaraz, and pushed it deep.
I think it popped, did something funny, and Jannik looks at the ground. Maybe it hit the service line. It was not a great shot. When he hit that, I was like, oh, Sinner's got this one. And it just stopped completely. I think it might have hit the chalk on the line. Jannik looks down and points down to the grass and go, come on, this is my chance for another 2 break points. Got a better bounce.
Down the centre from Alcaraz, finds the mark as well, and he's dug himself out of trouble from love 30 here to 40-30. A point to get on the board here in the third set, just 5 weeks after their incredible French Open final that we had the privilege of witnessing and bringing to you here on 5 Live. 5.5 hours. Alcaraz 3 championship points down, and he served his way out of the lot, turned it around and won, and he's trying to turn this set around as well. Love 2 and love 30 becomes 1-2 after a hold of serve.
Yeah, interesting stuff. They really do bring out the best in each other. So while the players take a break here at Wimbledon, let's find out how Rory McIlroy is getting on at the Scottish Open, being watched by Ian Carter.
Well, he's just missed a decent look at a birdie at the 11th, so remains at 13 under par, Gigi, and he remains a shot behind Chris Gotterup, ranked 158 in the world. The American's still out in front, 3 under par on his round, 14 under overall. Matt Fitzpatrick is having a good week. At 12 under, he's just 2 behind with 6 holes to play. And Justin Rose has surged through the field today. The Englishman with a 63. He's the early clubhouse leader at 11 under par.
Ian, thank you very much, and don't forget that 5 Live's coverage of the Open gets underway next Thursday. This evening we have England against Wales in the Euros. These are the final matches in Group D. Also at the same time, Netherlands against France. You'll hear England-Wales here on 5 Live. We've just hit the hour mark on the clock, and while the players took a break, David, it just scanned the members of the Royal Box, and it really is a who's who of absolutely everybody in there today.
Yeah, it's some incredible names from the tennis world alone, let alone the world of stage and screen. Andre Agassi's in there, Leighton Hewitt, Chrissy Evert, Wimbledon champion, Stefan Edberg, absolutely, Marion. Richard Krajicek, the 1996 champion,
Stan Smith
is there, yeah, and there are names such as Keira Knightley and Matthew McConaughey, Paul Mescal.
Anna Wintour,
yeah. And the widow, daughter and brother of the late, great Arthur Ashe, who won this title 50 years ago, the 50th anniversary, and Gian, Camera and Johnny Ashe are all in the Royal Box as well, which is wonderful to see.
absolutely.
And of course, joined by Her Majesty's the Prince and Princess of Wales.
Led for serve.
His Majesty King Felipe VI of Spain. And they're in the second row of spectators in front of us. Every time Jannik Sinner wins a point, there are 2 gentlemen in royal blue Italy football shirts who jump out of their seats and punch the air and shout as loud as they possibly can. First set to Carlos Alcaraz of Spain, 6-4 from 4-2 down. He came up with a 4-game run that you had to rub your eyes to believe. Here's a forehand from Jannik Sinner, who's trying to come back at him. He's got the early break of 2-1 and leads
15-all
in this second set. But 15-all is the scoreline in this game.
And again, just a capability from Alcaraz of bringing so many more balls back than any other players. It's just creating that little extra stress in Jannik Sinner to go for a little bit more from those back of the court shots and causing him to miss a lot more than usual. And that was the case on that last forehand.
2-1 to Sinner and 15-all. Backhand is hit down the centre. Alcaraz whipping through the forehand with excessive topspin, trying to bring it down inside the baseline. But no, that one's gone long. Never wears a cap, does he?
No.
Alcaraz, doesn't matter how hot and sunny it is.
Seems like he doesn't feel the heat at all. He doesn't sweat that much either.
No. Reminiscent of another great Wimbledon champion who never seemed to sweat. Bloke by the name of Federer.
Roger, yeah. Roger was just not
I did see a little bit of sweat once.
Really? Never saw anything.
I think that was rain, actually, Pat.
maybe spilt the bottle of water on him.
Pat Cash, we've got Wimbledon champions inside the commentary box too. Pat Cash and Marion Bartley here with us on 5 Live. Forehand blasted inside out by Sinner, who comes in with a forehand volley, but he's got that in the net. Pat Cash, you're the volley exponent in here. What was he doing wrong there?
Oh, gee, I thought he was in the right spot there. He's almost too low. He sort of pushed at it, punched at it. I know people talk about coaching the volleys. You have to punch the volley, but you don't punch the volley. You swing with your arm, with your shoulder. And he sort of punched it, so elbow, too much elbow. But, that was a win all the way around. All you do is just angle it, get it over the net. Got a bit too excited, I think.
I dare say the speed of Alcaraz off the spot sometimes can make you think you've got to hit a better one, and you might just tighten
that's very
up a
true.
bit.
Very true, but that was...
You still can't miss that one, can you? 30-all, 2-1 here, Sinner. Alcaraz with a chance to get back on serve if he can win these next 2 points, but he hits the backhand long. And a shake of the fist from Jannik Sinner, whose red locks are kept under control by the white baseball cap. He wears a baseball cap indoors. I don't think I've ever seen him play with that.
He has to hold his hair in place.
I hope it's not the same one, because he'd be stinky, wouldn't it?
That.
Do you think he's got more than one baseball cap?
Yeah, maybe. Potentially.
They never wash them, do they? They always get them clean out the cellophane every single time. 40-30, 2 games to 1. Nice return cross-court by Alcaraz, who's going to stoop low to chip his backhand with backspin cross-court, then whip a forehand into the air, and it hits the sideline. A bit lucky there, Alcaraz, and he knows it. He's raised his hand in apology, and a rare show of frustration and a negative emotion from Alcaraz towards his support team because he missed the forehand.
From Sinner, yeah, absolutely.
From Sinner, sorry.
He's just frustrating because he probably thinks that the first set should have been his. And now it's been a breakup. It could have been potentially a double breakup in that second set and starting to run away with this match. And he's just getting frustrated that somehow Carlos Alcaraz is just hanging in there and the scoreboard pressure is just not that much in his favor.
A couple of real unforced errors from Jannik Sinner. Very uncharacteristic. And he's now put a serve in the net. And I think Alcaraz is sensing this. He's got a chance. Deuce. Returns with his backhand straight down the middle. Now he has to chip a forehand back because Sinner's really cracking these into the corner. He's underneath the lob. He lets it bounce wide. And that's a wonderful point from Jannik Sinner. And now it's frustration in the body language of Alcaraz down the far end.
Well, it's just starting from the footwork. Really, in that last forehand, Sinner committed with the legs first and got so low before moving forward, so he could really count on the racket head speed, because when you're capable of generating so much racket head speed, you have to keep the control, right? Because otherwise your ball is going to fly away, and the legs will give you the control. And on that last forehand, really take extra care of those legs.
Oh no, somebody just popped a cork, champagne cork onto the court. Well done.
I have not seen that happen before.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a good to see you to both players.
Exactly.
Please not pop the champagne corks just as the player's about to serve.
Yeah, it's happened a couple of times.
That's
really?
The voice of Alison Hughes, our umpire.
Please.
Yeah, I mean, that's extraordinary, isn't it? Literally, he's about to serve, popping a champagne cork, which landed about 10 feet away from Jannik Sinner. And he had to pick it up. Here's his forehand, hit cross-court, advantage for a 3-1 lead. What a forehand cross-court by Alcaraz. My word, that one left scorch marks on the turf of centre court, and even Sinner couldn't handle it with the backhand.
That's why it's so dangerous to go to the forehand of Carlos Alcaraz, because he's just capable, even on the full stretch and full run, to come up with this incredible shot. But once again, that reminds me of the point on the set points of Alcaraz when Sinner went for the exact same shot down the line, and somehow Alcaraz was able, with a flick of the left wrist, to get it back into the court, and this time Sinner missing the exact same shot.
So Chris Hoy looks down from the raw box as Jannik Sinner serves out wide and drop shots. Here comes Alcaraz, reaches it, drop shots in kind, and there's the backhand on the line from Sinner. That wasn't good enough for Alcaraz for once.
Oh, the drop shot of Sinner hit the line, hit the sideline. It wasn't a great one. Alcaraz cruised up there, but once it hit the line, it just sort of it took a sharp turn. Went backwards and whoop, and then Alcaraz had to adjust and it wasn't good enough for a change.
It feels as though Sinner has got to make this break of serve count. He had 2 love, he had love 30 on the Alcaraz serve, and just trying to keep Alcaraz at bay here because the Spaniard is starting to remind you that he can still turn it on. But that's a wonderful serve from Sinner, right at the body of Alcaraz, and the return is long.
It's just a lot more reaction that we're used to see from Jannik Sinner. First of all, he's going a lot more to his towel box. On that last occasion on the serve, the serve clock was actually at 0 when he started his motion. Normally he plays very quick between each point, but I think he needs that extra time to really sort of putting aside the bad points or putting aside the enforced errors. And a lot more facial expression as well from him so far since the beginning of this final. You can tell this match really counts for him.
You would hope so.
Well, in this whole rivalry thing, now that you have lost so many in a row, right? In Roland Garros, he was not behaving that way at all.
It is very interesting to watch the body language. Wonderful forehand hit away with violence from Alcaraz into the corner. This emotion that Sinner's showing, Pat, he's not normally an outwardly emotional character. Do you think he's maybe doing that deliberately? Perhaps it's
well, the thing like grass is that every point counts. You've got to be pumped up on every single point because it's so over so quickly.
Back in return finds the court from Sinner, but there's a wonderful little backhand faded slice down the line from Alcaraz. Always seems so imbalanced, doesn't he, Alcaraz? Even if he's flailing around, by the time he gets to contact, he seems to know what to do with the hands.
It's just the pure strength he's having from the lower body to the core to the arm. It's just, I've never seen that before in my whole life. We've talked about the amazing champions we've been able to witness over the years gracing this court, from Rafa to Roger to Novak, but it seems that he's a version of those three names I just gave. It's just a combination of those three, and he has the pure raw talent of Roger, then the movement of Novak, the explosiveness of the forehand from Rafa. It just brings everything together.
Quite an astonishing thought. 40 love here, Alcaraz, as he tries to narrow the gap. He thought he'd hit an ace down the centre, but not quite. This is his 6th Grand Slam final, and he's won all of the other 5. Serves down the centre. Forehand netted by Sinner. Alcaraz keeps interested in this set, and he trails by 3 games to 2 with a break of serve. But it ain't done yet, Gigi.
Oh, it's by far from done yet. Right, let's cross to Lords to get the very latest with Ellie.
Yes, tense here, 26 for 1. India, 193 is the target, just that one wicket. Yashasvi Jaiswal, top edge pull off the bowling of Jofra Archer, caught by Jamie Smith. He was out for a duck. KL Rahul dropped on 5 by Chris Wokes, a caught and bowled chance, which he'd normally expect to take. He took one at Headingley. 26 for 1, India. We've got an hour left in the day.
Ellie, thank you. The cricket continues on Sports Extra. Now, after losing the doubles final with Gordon Reid yesterday, it was defeat for defending champion Alfie Hewitt in the men's wheelchair singles after losing in 3 sets to the number 1 seed Takito Oda. He says competing in front of a huge crowd always meant more than today's result.
Last year was obviously such a special moment for me, my family, my team, everyone who's been on this journey with me to clinch my first ever Wimbledon singles, obviously 12 months ago. But to be honest, I don't think trophies can beat this sort of atmosphere and this sort of support, because this sort of atmosphere doesn't happen to us on a regular basis. It's really incredible what's happened over the years at Wimbledon and the amount of support that wheelchair tennis has got, and to come here and play in front of you guys. And obviously congratulations to Keto, because it was a good battle out there, an incredible performance and well deserved. But to live tennis matches like this is really what we both dream of, and we say it at the net, to have an audience like this, win or lose, that's the real win, I think, today.
Yeah, it was a wonderful crowd out there on court 1. Annabelle, the quality of this final, it continues to seesaw this way, and that the quality is such a high level.
Oh, it really is, Gigi. It's like on a knife edge, and it's got everybody on the edge of their seats. You can hear the oohs and ahs from the crowd around, the fans just witnessing what we're seeing. It is quite spectacular. It's just in full view, isn't it? Just 2 great champions. They're both Grand Slam champions, they're both great athletes, and they're putting it all out on the line today, and it's not disappointing by any stretch of the imagination.
David, a short while ago you were talking about Roger Federer sweating or not sweating. I was thinking, I remember him sweating. 2018 US Open, when he lost to John Millman, all we could talk about was the fact that Roger Federer was sweating.
I know, it was such a turn-up, wasn't it? But you're right, we've talked about the heat here at Wimbledon the last week and a half, but I don't think I've ever experienced heat like you get. It's a different kind of heat in New York with the humidity there, and honestly, I don't know how they play professional sport in that. And yes, that night, Federer was officially sweating. I was there. It's 15-all. On the Jannik Sinner serve. Huge forehand return by Alcaraz, who then goes cross-court. He's trying to bully Sinner here. Forehand on the line from him. Sinner's got back in the rally, hits his inside-out backhand, then goes cross-court. Alcaraz will just about reach it and tiptoe up to the ball and slice it, and it's Sinner who's gone long.
Great defensive play against Alcaraz, and it's Just going to get across to that backhand and slice it into an awkward position for Sinner. Short.
And you know what is quite extraordinary, Pat, is actually he was coming towards our commentary booth, Carlos Alcaraz, to chase that backhand. And you can see the sort of knee bending going lower and lower and lower to control that backhand and still coming back towards the center of the court to control the next shot. The court movement on grass from Alcaraz is just breathtaking.
They move differently, don't they? Because Sinner slides out wide into the ball so often as he puts his serve down and the forehand goes long. Alcaraz moves like a ballet dancer. He's just tiptoeing up to the ball, even though he's going at a top speed a lot of the time.
He moves like he's walking on eggs, but with power.
Yes, that takes some doing.
That takes quite a bit of physical abilities.
Not sure I could pull that off. 30 all, might make a mess. It's 3-2 Sinner here, second set. First set Alcaraz 6-4, huge serve down the centre Sinner. That's what he needs. The backhand floats long, a clenched fist from Sinner.
13. And finally, the first serve point one is going a little bit higher for Sinner, still only at 58% since the beginning of this match. It will be regularly over 70%, at least, Sinner coming into this final.
Point for a 4-2 lead for Sinner, which he had in the first set. He didn't win that set. He hits his backhand on the line. Forehand is hit cross-court by Alcaraz off the top of the net. Sinner, he gets lucky. The ball dribbles over. He raises his left hand in apology. But he has that 4-2 lead, Pat. And how important
Sinner leads 4 games to 2, second set.
to you when you're playing a big match is the scoreboard and the sort of pressure it can put on an opponent, and I don't know, just little tiny points here and there making all that difference.
Yeah, well, certainly in my day, because the courts weren't quite as neat. But if you got a break of serve, that was just about the end of the set, and so every point is just incredibly crucial. And that's it changes the intensity of the match. It changes the focus, and these. It's a little bit longer these days. The rallies, of course. But, it's always scoreboard pressure, every single point.
And now, which is interesting, we are in the exact same situation as the first set.
Yeah.
It was 4-2 up for Jannik Sinner, who got this time his break a little bit earlier in the set, but nonetheless, the break in the first set came quite early. Let's see if he's able to keep that break and get that second set on his pocket.
Serve out wide from Alcaraz was an ace. He's gone for a big one out wide the other side at full velocity. And what I noticed at 4-2 down in the first set is on his own serve, Alcaraz, he amped up the power even more off his ground strokes. It felt like he was trying to get himself going, and it worked as he serves down the centre and the forehand goes long on return.
Well, he does have these dips. They're very short dips, but they're dips, and if you're going to have them, I suppose have them at the beginning of the set. And we saw the last set and typically the end of matches that he can just hit that turbo button.
49.
And that's what happened in the French Open final when he was 3 championship points down and he got out of the game at love 40, and then Sinner served for the championships at 5-4, 2-1, and Alcaraz broke him there as well and took it into a fifth. And what made it so extraordinary is that Alcaraz looked like he was going to win it comfortably from there on as he hits his backhand volley, and he's passed by Sinner down the line for 40-15 Alcaraz. But
40-15.
One of the great things about that match was then Sinner mounted a comeback in the 5th set and turned around a break deficit and took it into the tie-break.
Yeah, these guys are great competitors. If they go on a run of shots, then it's just near impossible to stay with them.
Sinner trying for his 4th Grand Slam title. Alcaraz for his 6th. If he gets that, that'll put him level with Boris Becker on Grand Slam titles won. Backhand hit onto the sideline by Sinner, who now explodes into a forehand. Alcaraz tries to get it back, but hits the tape, and 40 love has become 40-30 on his own serve.
40-13.
Bit of a wobbly old return that went deep from Sinner, but hit the line and forced Alcaraz into a bit of a miss-hit. Stepping up very quickly, thumping those forehands Sinner into the corner, and it had to be absolutely perfect because we've seen the Alcaraz get a lot of these back.
Stares into the sun there, does Alcaraz. The shade is starting to come to the umpire's chair. The court still in blazing sunlight, but it won't be for that much longer, and it's going to get harder looking into that sun. And he's just served another double fault there as Alcaraz. He was 40-love up in this game, now it's deuce.
Oh, that's why when you don't play with the baseball cap, you just get a little bit tougher, and we know we've seen it over the days and the course of this championship that players can really be distracted by that sun coming at this time of the day.
Now then, Alcaraz needs to hold on to his serve, really, to keep this set going, you would have thought. Because if he doesn't, he'll be 5-2 down and Sinner serving for it. He's netted a first serve again. He's just losing his way briefly here, the Spaniard. And
the double
faulted again.
The toss was so far in front, Pat. He just couldn't even reach for that ball. He just completely collapsed into it. He's trying actually to avoid the sun by tossing the ball more in front. But you can't even serve because he's in full extension, sort of leaning into the ball and falling into it.
The sun has nothing to do with it. It's over the other side. They're just bad connections there. It's right over his back at the moment.
Still break point for Sinner. And there's a fifth serve in a row that he's missed.
Yeah.
And he's just admonishing himself. Come on, Charlie, he says, shaking his own head. Finds the serve this time, and the return is netted by Sinner's backhand.
He's short into the box, kicker wide.
He's having a good chat with his team. I don't know what's going wrong with my serve. But he's not in too much danger. He's back to deuce. That was just a decent second serve out there, and Sinner was all over it. Missed it, though.
And now he's hit the centre service line, shakes his racket in his hand as Alcaraz, as the puff of chalk tells us the ball was in.
It's almost a replica of that game on the exact same side of the court earlier in the set when Sinner was up 2-love 30. Got a chance to get a double break. Same here. Double break point chance, second serve, miss the return. Next point is an ace from Alcaraz, who can go back at 4-3 now.
And suddenly the serve's back. And so is the game for Carlos Alcaraz.
Sinner leads 4 games to 3. Second set.
And you wonder, Gigi,
Alcaraz.
what might be going through Jannik Sinner's mind as he sits down, because he was 4-2 up in the first set, just as he was here. He ended up losing that set.
Oh, it's intriguing stuff, an hour and 22 minutes in. Now, a reminder that this evening, England take on Wales in their final Group D game at the Women's Euros. We have full commentary for you from 8 o'clock. And Serena Wiegman wants her England side to keep the same levels that they showed in their 4-0 win over the Netherlands.
Everyone's taking responsibility. And I try to ensure, and I try to, of course, together with technical staff, to influence them to get the game plan right and to make players aware of their strengths and their weaknesses. Then players have to take their responsibility, and we have to win this game and then we get out of the group stage. So what else do you need to be motivated, I would say? And we showed ourselves how good we can play, and now again it's against another opponent. There's a lot of rivalry. There'll be probably more compact, so we have to find a way to break that wall, I would say, and to create chances again, and also be really, really concentrated and focused on their attack or maybe their counter-attack.
A reminder, full commentary, England against Wales from the Women's Euros tonight from 8 o'clock. There are a mix of flags, both Italian and Spanish, being waved on Henman Hill. And the queue, David, for people just to try and get on the hill ahead of this final was enormous. It snaked all the way from the hill down to the entrance to centre court.
I love it. That's one of the features I saw yesterday, being near the hill. There were so many fans of Iga Swiatek out there who couldn't get into centre court, but they didn't want to watch it at home.
15,
they wanted to watch it all together on the hill, on the big screen, and make plenty of noise, and that's what they did. And goodness me, did she deliver for them. 6-love, winning the final against Amanda Anisimova. Here on centre court, the men's singles final has Spain's Carlos Alcaraz trying for a third title in as many years as he returns with his backhand short. Sinner steps up and he's going to move 30-love ahead here at 4-3 in the second set.
30-love.
It's a much better start of the game at 4-3 serving from Jannik Sinner. That's what he has done a set ago. being in that exact same position. Again, just making sure that first serve is landing into the court and he's able to get himself on the offense. On the second shot after the serve.
Big serve down the middle from Sinner. He'd love to have an uneventful service game here. Hits his backhand down the middle. Backhand blasted down the long. Alcaraz long. 40 love.
40 love.
After every single point now that Sinner is winning, he just shake his racket up towards his player's box as if saying, well, not again, guys. Just not again. I'm not going to lose again against Alcaraz. Not in the final for Grand Slam. It's just not happening.
He certainly doesn't want to lose this set, given he's got a similar advantage. But unlike in the first set, when he didn't manage to serve out for 5-3, he's done it this time. That was a big service hold, Pat.
Yeah, good serving. And his serving has improved in this set significantly. You know, it needed to. And he was struggling to get 3 points. You know, he's up to 71% now, but he was only in the 50s in the previous set. It was sort of fell away at the end of that first set.
Alcaraz is trying to ask him the questions by getting his own serve going here in the 9th game of the second set, and an ace out wide will help.
Yeah, it got a bit of slice, 111 miles an hour. That's about the pace where you can get curl on it. If it's faster than that, it tends to just be more flat.
Whoa.
Women's Euros will resume tonight at 8 o'clock here on 5 Live, England against Wales. 15 love here, Alcaraz serves a second serve ace out wide. And he actually raises his hand in apology, it seemed to me there.
Not sure why he's apologizing. It was just a perfect serve.
I thought perfection was the idea.
So I'm sorry, I'm just too perfect. It's just almost mean that. I'm so sorry.
Isn't that where he was aiming?
I would take that
I'd be fist pumping. Yeah, that's what I wanted.
Another line hit by the serve by Alcaraz, and it doesn't come back.
40 love.
Quick fire service game this one is.
Well, Sinner is probably thinking already of what he's going to do on the first point on the own serve, serving for the set at 5-4.
Leaning forward in front of us, Sinner with his hand on his black and white framed racket. Drop shot, Alcaraz hits the net.
And you see difference this time. Sinner has been noticing the sort of pattern that Alcaraz is bringing, that drop shot. Instead of splitting, going backwards with his body weight, he's a lot more alert, staying in front. So he was able to even chase that ball. Eventually didn't pass the net, but he was not losing the footwork that he has been doing throughout the course of the first set and beginning of the second as well.
Shadows starting to creep onto the playing surface now. To our left, everybody in the stands. Thousands of them are all in shade now, still fanning themselves, quite a few, because it's still pretty warm out there. In the sun, it's blazing hot. Ace out wide, Alcaraz. And Sinner's going to have to do this the hard way.
5 gives 4 second sets.
By holding serve in order to level this match, Gigi. 5-4.
Annabelle, there's no question about the level is exceptional from both of them, but you feel it could come down to, as it did in the French, who plays their best tennis at the biggest moments.
Yeah, it always comes down to that, doesn't it? And it's already teetering, isn't it? It's like a seesaw at the moment. It's like one will play a standing tennis, and we had that drop-off at the start of the second set from Alcaraz, but he's slowly kind of building it back, and then you think, oh, he's getting it back, and it was the first time we saw Sinner starting to look a little stressed, but it really is toing and froing at the moment, and it really is on a knife edge, because, you know, either Sinner's going to come out here and equal the match, and then we'll start again, and then it's down to best of 3, or is Alcaraz going to break back and get things back on track and start piling on the pressure? But one thing we know is that every time he sits down, we've just seen Alcaraz, and he's out of the chair really quickly. He's bouncing around. He's trying to show Sinner that he's got the energy for this next game, and he's nodding and he's shaking his racket, and he's doing lots of things to try to stay really, really positive out here in this match.
But at his advantage, Jannik Sinner. Carlos Alcaraz has asked him the question. David, the question is, can the Italian find the answer?
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Players are ready.
He's at the far end of the court from where we look in our incredible commentary position here on 5 Live. Just a few feet up above the ground, looking over Carlos Alcaraz's left shoulder as he tries to return serve. And the ball flashed past him, but it missed the service line. 5-4 Sinner, serving for the second set. Alcaraz won the first 6-4. Backhand cross-court by Sinner, chipped back with the backhand by Alcaraz. He'll hit the two-handed backhand on the line. Now, what a shot that is! Now he's got a forehand that he's going to play with a drop volley. Surely Sinner's not going to reach this. He is!
He played the kite and mouse game, but too much Alcaraz. He had that volley to just punch it into the open court. And that's now Jannik Sinner who punches rackets towards the air, urging the center court crowd to appreciate that incredible run and chase, but almost wanted to play too much of a drop shot. He completely had Jannik Sinner off balance. That would have been an easy put away volley, and just wanted to go for another drop shot one. And Sinner made him pay the price.
Pounced on it with a backhand cross-court passing shot that made you stare in disbelief. Here's the Sinner forehand on the line. Backhand hit cross-court by Alcaraz. He's going to come at him. That much we know. Backhand netted by Sinner as he serves for the set. 5-4. It's 15-all. How stressful is it serving for a set, Pat?
Oh, yeah, it's right up there. It's interesting. Sinner going for the backhand down the line. As I said, that's something that he's really improved out of sight in the last year or so, but it's his least favourite shot. They pulled slightly wide, decided to go for it, hit the top of the net. You tend to make mistakes off your weaker sides in these occasions.
Whoa! Just missed the centre service line, did Sinner, at 133 miles an hour. 1.5 hours exactly
really
on the clock. And Pat's staring at the photographers who've given
just
the ball
back just now.
Throwing the ball back as he's about to serve.
Serves onto the forehand. Great second serve by Sinner. Then a backhand cross-court. Alcaraz reaches it somehow, clips it into the air. That'll drop wide, though. This is 30-15. Brilliant play, Sinner.
Wow.
But Alcaraz decided to drop back on the return, second serve return position. He has been a lot more aggressive, stepping in and putting pressure on the second serve of Sinner throughout the course of this match, not only the second set. And those 2 points on the right side, first point of this game and the last one, deciding to really drop backwards. But that gives so much space.
He's done it the last few games.
Exactly.
He's
but that gives so much space to Sinner to hit in the open space.
A bit more time on the second serve to really wind up, hit a hard one. But
yeah, it's very interesting to watch these return positions. Alcaraz behind the baseline again as the ball flashes past him, but it missed the sideline. Sinner 2 points away from levelling this men's singles final. And again, Alcaraz has moved way back. He's halfway between the baseline and the ball kits. He hits his backhand cross-court. Now winds up into his forehand. He stepped in now. But that's ridiculous from Jannik Sinner. A forehand flashing winner.
How you can do that? Sinner went all out on that last... Alcaraz went all out on the last forehand, and the ball came back even faster from Sinner's racket.
It's a real slap, that forehand, isn't it? It's
just a wrist acceleration.
Amazing. Lays it back and slaps it. It's literally like if you're slapping something.
Set point for Jannik Sinner to level this Wimbledon final. Body serve, blocked back down the middle by Alcaraz. He winds up into his forehand, goes cross-court, down the line Sinner. Backhand cross-court, Alcaraz. He's got Sinner moving. Forehand cross-court by Alcaraz. Here comes Sinner with a big forehand!
No, you can't do that back-to-back! It's just not allowed!
6 games to 4.
Jannik Sinner says yes it is. And he levels, winning the second set by 6 games to 4. And here we go again with these two.
Back it up, guys. We're in for another 5 hours. I'm telling you.
Absolutely kidding me. Annabelle Croft.
It's just astounding what we've just seen. That was just something different level from both of them. And no wonder, actually, to see the entire 15,000 people here on centre court giving a standing ovation after that last forehand winner from Sinner. That was something special. So we really are in for such a treat here. It's incredible what we're witnessing.
We said it wouldn't disappoint, and it is not disappointing. An hour and 33 minutes played. Right, well, we catch our breaths ahead of set settling in for the third set. Let's go to Lords, the cricket, day 4 of the third test, and Ellie.
Yes, 193 is the target for India. They are 39 for 1, so England making that very early breakthrough when Jaiswal was dismissed by Archer for a duck. That was 5 for 1. Then we saw Chris Woakes dropping KL Rahul. A caught and bowled chance, Stephen Finn, that he would get 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, they're not as easy as they look sometimes, especially when they're slowed down in slow motion. It looks like, well, why on earth hasn't he caught that? But when your head's moving and your follow through and you're unbalanced because your weight's going the other way, they can be tricky. He'd have liked to have caught it, and there are occasions where he would have caught it, but I don't think it was a simple chance. But it's left England up against it, only 40 for 1, and it's just that one in the wicket column.
Yeah, modest target as well when they're chasing that 193. England want a couple more wickets if they can this evening, also before the ball goes as soft as it can be. I've got to say, Gigi, a couple of things. When the champagne cork was popping onto centre court, Finney, that kind of takes you back to games here at Lords. It's a very Lords moment.
Yeah, if you field on the boundary here at Lords, you have to put a hard hat on for the champagne corks flying over your shoulders. You end up throwing them back into the stands. Yeah, so we're well accustomed with it in the cricketing world.
And actually, the other thing I was remembering, Gigi, was the 2019 World Cup final, where I was sitting in this very seat doing updates into the Wimbledon final of 2019, which, I'm not saying you need to go to the loo now and take advantage of it, but what was it? Nearly 5 hours in Federer Djokovic in 2019?
Ellie, you have to have a firm bladder to watch tennis. On the Nicola Mahou-John Isner second day, I did 9.5 hours without going to the bathroom.
He must be a camel.
Thank you very much to Annabelle. Stephen, Ellie, thank you very much. The cricket continues with the TMS team over on Sports Extra. To golf, the Scottish Open, into Ian Carter.
Rory McIlroy missing a good look at birdie at the 14th, and he's currently 2 shots behind Chris Gotterup, who's at 15 under par, having picked up 4 shots in his first 13 holes. There's more than 150 places in the rankings between these two, but the unheralded American is doing a brilliant job of holding off McIlroy, who very nearly missed a tiny putt on the previous green. I was telling you earlier about Justin Rose's 63 at 10 under par, but Marco Penge, Matt Fitzpatrick and Nikolai Højgaard all on the leaderboard at 12 under par.
Ian, thank you very much. And while Annabelle and I continue to discuss whether camels go to the toilet or not, with the time at 5:56, let's bring you your news headlines with Al Tansley.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Some breaking news to bring you this afternoon. An aircraft has crashed at Southend Airport. Essex Police says officers were alerted to a 12-metre plane on fire shortly before 4 o'clock. Emergency services are still at the scene and there's no information on casualties or how the collision occurred. The Labour MP for the area, David Burton Sampson, says his thoughts are with everyone involved. In other news, the BBC understands a child at Alderhay Hospital in Liverpool has died after contracting measles. Doctors at Alderhay say they've seen 17 cases of young people with measles since June, and they're urging people to get vaccinated. Israel has blamed what it calls a technical error for a deadly strike on a water collection point in Gaza. The civil defence agency in Gaza, which is run by Hamas, says 10 people were killed, including 6 children. And the Transport Secretary says the government will make it cheaper for people who want to switch to an electric car. Heidi Alexander told the BBC she's pledged extra money to help people without driveways install charging points.
Wimbledon 2025 with Gigi Salmon
on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
An early break points in the match in the final. Sinner against Alcaraz with Pat Marin and Russell Fuller.
Carlos Alcaraz living dangerously. Took the first set by 6 games to 4. Dropped his level at the very start of the second set and was broken immediately. And he's a break point down here at 30-40. He saved 1 break point, Alcaraz. He served 2 double faults in this game. Royal box end. Break point Jannik Sinner to hit the front. And Alcaraz, who has been prone to a few too many double faults in the last half an hour of this final, puts a first serve into the net. Second serve, break point down, backhand from Sinner. Forehand Alcaraz down the line. Sinner with a forehand long. Relief for Carlos Alcaraz, Pat.
Just great footwork, able to get around that. Sinner wanted to make sure that he made the return. He had break points in the last set, or break point, backhand return, hit the net. So a little slightly conservative, and Carlos is so quicker on his feet. He got around, hit a really good forehand down the line, forced the error from Sinner.
Alcaraz took the first set 6-4, Sinner the second by the same scoreline. And our other Wimbledon champion in the box is Marion Bartoli, who won the title here in 2013. 1 minute to 6. Later start time for the singles finals now, as Sinner just goes long with that service return. The final match of the championships now, the men's singles final, and it could well go on until the middle of the evening.
You wonder when Jannik Sinner is going to start to pick up on covering that backhand side on the ad court on second serve, because he had on few occasions reached some very important point to negotiate and just can't make enough of that return. And Alcaraz is able to escape.
2 break points saved in the opening game of the third set.
Well, the big escape, that one. Huge, because he's lost his service game early in all 3 sets. The first set, of course, he got out of it with some great hitting the turbo button, but he couldn't hit the turbo button the last set, and there's one break. That was it. So good hold.
Let's go back to Lords. There has been a wicket. Ellie.
Yes, and we were saying England needed that breakthrough. 41 for 2. Karen Nair just padding up to Bryden Cast, not playing a shot, and he is out for 14. And India need another 152 runs. England need 8 more wickets. 41 for 2.
Half an hour left in the day at Lords. Ball-by-ball commentary is on 5 Sports Extra, and at 8 o'clock tonight, it's England against Wales from the Euros, with both sides technically in with a chance of qualifying for the quarter-finals. Backhand from Sinner cross-court. Alcaraz down the line with the backhand. Sinner cross-court with a forehand. Sinner now lining up a big forehand cross-court. Well met by Alcaraz, who's now running to his backhand corner and fizzing a backhand down the line and just 15. Wide of the sideline.
And again, just Jannik Sinner wanted to go forward on the previous backhand and sort of made the move, and so Alcaraz was actually onto the ball a lot quicker than what he thought. Therefore, he couldn't really come to the net, but always having that mindset of being aggressive from the back of the court, Sinner dominating those rallies.
15 love on the Sinner serve in the second game of the third set, with the final deadlocked here on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. It's a second serve for Sinner. It's onto the forehand of Alcaraz, who's a long way behind the baseline again to return. Forehand cross-court Alcaraz. Sinner taking it early with a forehand cross-court. Great angle from Alcaraz. The backhand cross-court from Alcaraz. Sinner's there and hits the backhand cross-court. Sinner down the line and wide with the backhand.
And he's just walking towards his towel box now in front of us, Russell, and breathing heavily, very heavily. Jannik Sinner, after that last rally and that last backhand, he really went down the line. I sort of wanted to ending that rally, then hoping this ball will land in. He's feeling the physicality of this match, Jannik Sinner.
The game is very much afoot now, isn't it? This is the heart of the match at 1-all. Alcaraz saving 2 break points in the opening service game of this set. 15-all now, make that 30-15 on the Sinner serve as Alcaraz goes long with a forehand. And I just walked past somebody without a care in the world. Iga Swiatek gave me a very cheery smile as she walked through the grounds of the All England Club. No stress for her, apart from what she's wearing to the Champions' dinner tonight, perhaps.
When you come the next day, it's just a lot easier.
30-15. Now 40-15 as Sinner hits the ace. That Champions' dinner, which is traditional after the men's singles final has finished, could start very, very late tonight, given that the men's singles final is now pushed back from a 2 o'clock to a 4 o'clock start.
Yeah, especially if you've got to do media and everything else. Everybody wants to talk to you after you win. The winner could be in there for 2 hours chatting with people.
Yeah, quite possibly. Carlos Alcaraz was late last year, even though it was a straight sets win over Novak Djokovic in the final and a 2 o'clock start, and that was because Spain were playing in the final of the Euros, if you remember.
Of course.
And he wasn't going to miss that.
No.
Down the tee with the serve, Sinner. He has 40-15, and he's put that forehand away with a flashing forehand winner.
And again, the footwork to go so quickly around the ball on the last forehand and take that ball as early as he can. Jannik Sinner making sure he close out the space from Carlos Alcaraz. He's having this incredible ability on the run to find some angles and passing shots that no one can do. So you really have to be perfect with that approaching shot.
They are playing for the famous silver gilt trophy, which is presented, and it says this on the cup, to the single-handed champion of the world, or they are competing for the single-handed championship of the world. The forehand is got back in play somehow by Alcaraz. Sinner cross-court with the backhand and only just wide, with another outrageous attempt from a long way behind the baseline to somehow work a backhand cross-court over the net and in play by the Spaniard.
And it all started with that short cross-court forehand from Jannik Sinner, who got Carlos Alcaraz completely out of the court. And that's where he can play the open space with his backhand. It's his favorite pattern.
Love 15 down, serving and volleying here, Alcaraz. Sinner with a forehand into the net.
Had it! What a miss to go love 30 up. He was there plenty of time, Jannik Sinner, but just again, those extra sprints and run forward. He's always breathing quite heavily after them. You wonder how much Alcaraz is doing that to try to win the point, but as well as making him fatigue for the rest of the match, almost as a chess player who are preparing the next shot.
15 all. A little bit of a break there for Alcaraz. It was a tricky volley for him because Sinner had hit his previous shot in towards his body. Backhand from Sinner. Alcaraz cross-court with the backhand. Sinner's backhand is long.
30-15.
And thumbing up towards his player's box. As he's saying, well, great tactic you gave me there. Rarely you see that from Sinner, just showing his frustration towards his coach.
I was thinking just the same. We've seen it from Andy Murray many times.
Oh, yeah.
He enjoyed an ironic
yes.
hand clap or an ironic thumbs up. And I agree with you, Marion. I can't ever remember watching Jannik Sinner do that.
Let's first serve.
Alcaraz has 30-15. He's now serving towards the royal box, and the area behind the baseline is in shade. Jannik Sinner at the commentary box and royal box end at the sunny end of the court, where serving is going to be a little trickier for another 45 minutes or so. Backhand, cross-court by Sinner. Alcaraz has gone long now.
He's been looking for that backhand for a while.
Yeah, he's
off the
been
second
starting
serve.
to pick it up now.
And he's a little conservative. The previous game when he had a break point, at that time he really got onto that second serve. You might see Carlos trying to throw one down the middle fast. Getting a little bit predictable.
1 hour and 47 minutes played on centre court. Alcaraz at 30 all. Forehand replies Sinner. Alcaraz down the line. Forehand winner.
40.
Just showing a lot more frustration, Jannik Sinner. A lot more sort of wanted to get the break early, wanted to get on top of the scoreboard, probably still thinking of those 3 match points in Roland Garros, and he's just showing more frustration that he's not able to capitalize on the scoreboard enough to his liking.
Game point, Alcaraz. Second serve at 40-30. Forehand reply from Sinner. Long. 1 or 2 half opportunities spurned by Jannik Sinner in that game. And we're still going with serve in the third, Gigi.
Don't forget, we have Wales against England at the Euros for you this evening here on 5 Live Sport and BBC Sounds kick-off at 8 o'clock. And ahead of that, Wales boss Rhian Wilkinson has praised her side for how they've competed in a difficult group on their major tournament debut.
We're here for the first time, and for those countries that are fortunate enough to have the size in the player pool to expect regularly to qualify for these events, they've forgotten what an achievement it is to be at the pinnacle of the game at these major events. And these women have fought so hard for so long, many of them, their whole careers, to have this opportunity. And I will not allow us to just feel like we're just here to just participate. England will be forced to play a strong lineup because it is such a close group, and there's also a goal differential. So we get to show up and spoil the party, and that's a wonderful job to have.
Commentary from 8 o'clock also running alongside that. You'll have the Netherlands against France as Group D is completed. Sanoma Croft, we're an hour and 49 minutes in. We're on serve early stages of the third set. They've split the first 2 sets. Your thoughts at this stage?
Oh, it's so difficult to see which way this is going to go. I mean, I keep swaying, to be honest with you. I keep feeling like Alcaraz is getting things back on track and he's in control a little tiny bit, and then something will happen and it swings you back the other way. There really is nothing to split them at the moment, to be honest with you. But there are a few more unforced errors just creeping into both of their games. I think it would have been impossible to sustain that extraordinarily high level that we've witnessed for almost close to 2 hours, but definitely there's a few more errors and cheaper points coming in for both of them, which is probably a welcome relief for them.
Russell, I just had a message from a friend saying you could be in for a long night.
And we were preparing ourselves for that, weren't we? Mentally.
Mentally, we were ready since this morning.
Jannik Sinner's won the first point as Carlos Alcaraz misses the return. And now he's hitting the service line and noticeably celebrating virtually every point at the moment, Jannik Sinner, by looking up towards his coaching team and shaking that left fist. He moves to 30 love. He trails 1-2, but we're on serve. And a reminder, we are locked together at 1 set all in this best-of-5 set men's singles final at Wimbledon. It is the end of some 7 weeks for these two. As Sinner serves the forehand of Alcaraz, he sends that to the very back of the court. Slice backhand Alcaraz, slice backhand from Sinner onto the baseline, scooped up in the air by Alcaraz, and Sinner's on top of the forehand and powers that away. And we see again that little celebration as he makes eye contact with coaches Darren Cahill and Simone Vagnozzi. But I don't think we can underestimate what a physical challenge this is and what endurance they have shown to both reach the French Open final, then play 5 hours and 29 minutes, play a warm-up event each on grass. Sinner with less success in Halle, Alcaraz winning the title in Queens, and then going through and winning another 6 matches to reach the Wimbledon final. 3-game points for Sinner. We're waiting for his second serve. Onto the backhand of Alcaraz. Sinner cross-court with the forehand. Alcaraz on the run, just missing the forehand down the line.
2 games all, third set.
And that hold to love is feeling really good right now for Jannik Sinner. Again, just checking his racket head towards his player's box. Ready to bounce, ready to get that break under his belt. Carlos Alcaraz has been finally switching a little bit the pattern on the second serve on the ad court, going a lot more to the forehand of Jannik Sinner, realizing he has been becoming a little bit too predictable. But that's the side that's the most difficult to serve on right now. At the side when Alcaraz served 2 double fault to get himself 15-40 in the beginning of that third set.
Iga Świątek yesterday won her 6th Grand Slam final out of 6, and that is what Carlos Alcaraz is also trying to do here this afternoon. He's put a first serve into the net. The second serve is to the backhand of Sinner. It's right back at Alcaraz, who picks it up with a forehand half volley. Sinner's forehand down the centre. Alcaraz backhand onto the baseline. Backhand Alcaraz cross-court. Sinner defending and sends one down the line. Alcaraz switches play cross-court. And Sinner nets with a forehand.
He's just not being pushed back, is he, Carlos? He just doesn't want to get pushed back too far off the baseline. Great shot from Sinner to Alcaraz forehand, and he just a couple of big strides, and very much like Roger Federer, just stays up there. It enables him to get to the next shot relatively quickly.
15 love as Alcaraz misses the first serve. Second serve now for the Spaniard, the world number 2. His drop shot is into the middle of the net, and he turned his back on it in disgust as soon as the racket made contact with the ball.
I mean, it's so rare that he's just not feeling that shot, but on this occasion, his body weight was going completely backwards as he was trying to hit that drop shot, which is a shot when you want to really your body weight into the ball to control it.
Hasn't been successful lately of the drop shots, has he? Did get away with one, the poor one, but Jannik missed it.
So 15 all. Backhand just got back in play by Sinner, but it was a fine serve by Alcaraz and on the tee in mid-court and putting 15. The forehand away, Alcaraz to tidy up. Talking of players who've won their first 6, or in the case of Roger Federer, 7 Grand Slam singles finals. William Renshaw also won his first 7 in the 1880s. And Anthony Wilding won his first 6 before the First World War. So to win your first 6 in this modern era is some achievement as Alcaraz goes long with the forehand.
Yeah, you just have to be careful a bit, Carlos, there, because just not as alert as he has been so far into this match from the footwork perspective after his serve, and almost getting surprised that the return is coming back that deep. We are 1 hour 45 minutes into this match.
And it's 1 set all, and 2 games all, and 30 all. And this is a second serve. Sinner hits the backhand return, Alcaraz backhand. Sinner clubs the forehand, doesn't catch it cleanly, but it's effective. Another big forehand from Sinner, the backhand from Alcaraz. Sinner dictating this rally at the moment. Great defence, though, from Alcaraz, who pushes him back slightly. Sinner with the backhand over the baseline.
Incredible resistance from Carlos Alcaraz, who's really pushed from the return of serve all the way towards getting that last and first serves from the racket of Jannik Sinner. You can see the relief on Alcaraz's face after he saw that last backhand sailing long from Jannik Sinner's racket.
Yeah, that was for a break point, of course. He was in big trouble for most of that rally.
So game point now for Alcaraz. And you feel as if they really are trying to batten down the hatches. The impending storm is approaching. And to go a break down with the final at 1 set all won't be terminal, but could be very costly. And that's a backhand down the line miss by Sinner. And Alcaraz celebrates a hold of serve and leads the third set. But it's on serve, Gigi.
As we head to Lords for news of a wicket with Ellie.
And the Indian captain Shubman Gill is out. He was given out caught behind the previous over, reviewed successfully, but then LBW to Bryden Cars for 6. So Cars has struck twice in the evening sunlight, and India need another 140 runs to win. 53 for 3. We've got about 14 minutes left in the day.
Ellie, thank you very much. Annabelle, from what you can see and what you've seen, what for you is the difference at the moment between them, if there is one?
There really isn't one. I mean, actually, I feel in that last game that Alcaraz was being pushed defensively quite a bit, but he's defending so well. Sometimes he struggles to get a little bit more depth on the ball because Sinner is just pushing him and pounding the ball into the corners. But then, you know, he'll come up with something extraordinary. Like everybody's been saying, he's so unpredictable, Alcaraz. So he's, you know, yes, they've both dropped a tiny bit in level, not by much, but he's still keeping the scoreline very tight. And, you know, as long as they keep on taking care of business down their own end and getting those service games under their belt, this is where it's going to ramp up in pressure, and we're going to start to really see some pressurised moments. I mean, both of them have been looking towards their support camps at different various times, haven't we? We know how much pressure they're up against, and this is the heart of the match in this third set.
2 players are ready.
3 minutes shy of 2 hours on the clock as the world number 1 steps up to serve.
Jannik Sinner, who's won 76 points now
15
against
love.
Carlos Alcaraz, who's also won 76 points. But early in this third set, it's the Italian serving more fluently. He's not been under pressure at all on his serve, whereas Alcaraz served a couple of double faults and had to save 2 break points in the opening game, and was also taken to deuce on 1 other occasion. Sinner down the tee, blocked back on the forehand by Alcaraz, and Sinner with a miss with the off forehand.
15 all.
And really, Jannik had the whole look of Carlos Alcaraz, who was actually just covering only that backhand side and still decided to go for the inside-out forehand, when actually you just had to push the forehand into the forehand of Alcaraz. He would have been clearly a winner. Not sure if he didn't see it or didn't want it to change the first thought he had.
15 all. Ace by Sinner.
30
Sometimes you pick up a side as a player and you think your shot is going to be better than the run on the defense from your opponents. But when you see your opponent leaning there, it just gives you that extra pressure to go closer to the line. It makes you miss.
Alcaraz in the shade at the far end. Sinner in the sun as he serves into the net. Wearing the white baseball cap is the Italian world #1, and also that compression sleeve, which disguises some bandage either side of his right elbow. That was injured in a fall early in his 4th round match against Grigor Dimitrov on Monday. Short from Alcaraz, deeper from Sinner. Alcaraz cross court, and Sinner wide as he goes cross court.
30-all.
Just got a feeling that Carlos was going to hit that turbo button. And you can see Sinner's coaches have stood up. They can sense it as well. Stood up and in their box applauding their player who's down this end. Sat down the same end, our end, Royal Box end.
30-all on the Sinner serve. First opportunity, really, of this set to break for Alcaraz. Forehand Sinner, hit powerfully to the back of the court, and that's left and well judged by Sinner. Alcaraz backhand cross-court, landing about 6 inches wide.
That was half a chance there from Carlos Alcaraz, because for once, Jannik got a little bit tentative on the forehand attack, the forehand approach, and it was not a clean hit. He was not as close as usual from the sideline. It was a small chance from Carlos to come up with a better passing shot.
Game point Sinner. The 3-all. Good serve, short return by Alcaraz, but he's still in this point, and the tweener half volley hit by Sinner. The lob from Alcaraz, and the smash from Sinner.
He's missing the overhead.
Which he has missed.
Oh, wow.
He's missing the easier shot of the righty. He just hit an incredible tweener volley to get himself a much easier overhead. And he was running backwards to hit that overhead and just couldn't really control the racket head. But he had that point his racket, Jannik Sinner, who really now start to feel the pressure in the heart of that match, the heart of that third set.
Well, it was a brilliant piece of improvisation from Jannik Sinner. Not something you see him do too often, but he didn't have too many options. The point escaped him, though. Good serve down the tee. High return from Alcaraz. Forehand Sinner. Alcaraz nets.
That's a sense of relief, going back to the forehand attacking, and just that last patching shot landing on the top of the tape of the net.
Yeah, half a chance there to make Sinner play a really difficult shot. Just caught the top of the tape. That would have been the toughest of half volleys. Would have certainly set the point up for him for another passing shot.
Sinner with a chance then to level this third set, which he takes. With an ace at 133 miles an hour. 3 games all, 1 set all. The Wimbledon men's singles final on 5 Live and BBC Sounds.
And again, the percentage of first serve point 1 has been drastically increasing in that third set from Jannik Sinner. He's now at 83% for that set. Averagely in the match, still at 68%, but the 83% in that set prevent him from getting under pressure on his own serve.
Thank you.
Nothing between them, as we thought might well be the case, which has been the case in virtually every match they have ever played. This is instalment number 13. Alcaraz serves to the backhand of Sinner. Alcaraz cross-court with the backhand. Sinner is there. Alcaraz controlling the centre of the baseline at the moment. Sinner on the move, goes cross-court with the forehand. Alcaraz cross-court. Now Sinner's got some room, and he's just missed that forehand down the line.
15.
The pace those two are sending to each other. It's very difficult to express it by our voice, but I can tell you that it's just the fastest pace you can possibly imagine from the back of the court rally.
Alcaraz, 15 love. Ace, down the tee. A puff of white dust. Twelfth ace for Alcaraz. He has also served 6 double faults. This is now 30 love. Sinner returning from the sunny corner of centre court. Alcaraz to the backhand of Sinner, fine serve down the tee.
40 love.
Jannik Sinner was not quite sure that serve was in. He's actually looked at his player's box and looked at the chair umpire for confirmation. We didn't have the replay on the screen. Usually when it's a close call, we have the replay.
3 game points Alcaraz and an ace down the tee. Repeats the trick.
Alcaraz leads 4 games to 3, third set, 1 settle.
And continues to set the pace in this third set, but really only because he's serving first, Gigi.
Yeah, they've really settled, Annabelle, as this set has progressed into their stride. And it comes back to what we were saying about the big moments and the big points. And they are fast approaching as we get ready to start the 8th game of the third set.
Yeah, it's really starting to ramp up, isn't it? And I think everybody's, it's interesting, isn't it, when you watch tennis matches, particularly out here on centre court at Wimbledon, the crowd kind of live every moment, but you can sense the energy of the crowd at different moments as well, because they collectively, it's like a swarm of bees or wasps or whatever, everybody works together, don't they, in the crowd, and suddenly there can be a new electricity or a new kind of silence around the court as the points are being played, the more value of the points that ramp up. And I think we're just about to hit that stage quite shortly with where the scoreline is at in this third set.
And I think it's quite an even split in terms of who the crowd are supporting.
Yeah, I mean, early on, they're very respectful and they are really appreciating this extraordinarily high level of ball striking that we're seeing. It's breathtaking at times, isn't it? Some of the shot making and the explosive power between them is just amazing. But at one stage, I think when Alcaraz was down a break early on in the match and then came back, you could hear the eruption from the crowd. And that's when I thought, they're actually kind of a little bit more with Alcaraz. But now maybe I'm not so sure. I mean, it's changing, isn't it?
It's ever-changing, Russell, and we're not so sure about an awful lot of things.
No, and we haven't been awfully sure about many things since the beginning of the programme. But that's the beauty of this rivalry. Carlos Alcaraz trying to break the Jannik Sinner serve here. He leads by 4 games to 3. Sinner's hit a shot there onto the baseline, and now he's hit the sideline. He's got one more ball to play, and Alcaraz still in the rally, and there's the lob and the smash from Sinner. Finally shakes this pesky Spaniard off.
How many balls can Carlos Alcaraz bring back into the court somehow? I think Sinner is just thinking, I should have won this point three shots ago, really. Just make him play constantly that extra ball that is always tricky, especially when you get towards a business and of a set that really has a heavyweight into the overall results of this match.
Carlos Alcaraz used to winning against Jannik Sinner in recent months. He's won their last 5 meetings, but this one is very much in the balance. Sinner's backhand, Alcaraz with the forehand. Sinner nets his backhand.
15 all.
And he keeps on pointing towards his player's box. He's sort of the tactic is wrong or something is wrong, but he's been just gesturing a lot more than usual, Russ.
He has. Not something we see as frequently as that usually when all is going to plan for Jannik Sinner. 15 all, 3-4 down. Third set of the men's final. Backhand reply Alcaraz with a little bit of air onto the baseline. Now the drop shot, which he hits a little bit deep, and Sinner's missed. Forehand cross-court error from Sinner.
No, it's in.
It was in?
Yeah, it's in.
My goodness me, my eyes really are going.
Just in, don't worry, Russ.
It was only just in. I feel slightly happier about myself.
It's just because Sinner was fist pumping and Alcaraz looked as disbelieved that ball was in, so that was sort of helping in terms of our call.
Well, I think I'd be asking for a close call at this moment.
It was another poor drop shot from Alcaraz. Sinner got up there, but so fast as Sinner Alcaraz, he had to go right to the line, just in case he was running that direction, which he wasn't, as it turned out, but you don't know until the last second. Millisecond.
30-15. Sinner, second serve, 3-4 down. Kick serve, backhand Alcaraz. Sinner's backhand right onto the front of the baseline. Drop shot from Alcaraz. He's going to keep plugging away. Sinner with the forehand. Alcaraz with the lob. Sinner is marooned in the forecourt, and one of Alcaraz's biggest fans is on his feet. He's down in the front row, only about 10 yards away from us, and regularly throughout this match he's been on his feet. He's been pumping the air, he's been pointing to his temples and trying to catch Alcaraz's eye.
Well, I mean, it's just the variety that we talked about. Alcaraz just having extra variety, a couple of drop shots in a row. Just trying to bring Sinner out of his comfort zone.
And we have the bird inside the service square.
Fluttering away now.
Well, 30 all. 3-4. Sinner's come up with some great serves this set.
Is he going to go wide again?
He goes to the backhand of Alcaraz, but a let is called. (3-4), 30 all. Pressure moment for the world number one.
Whoa! He went wide this time. Way out at first serve.
Alcaraz trying to set up a first break point of the set. And what an ace that was. 117 miles an hour, out wide to the Alcaraz forehand and jamming it on the junction of sideline and the back of the service line.
And this time Alcaraz decided to actually hang the baseline on the return of serve. On the second serve, he has been normally throughout this set just dropping really quite a lot behind his own baseline, but this time just hugging the baseline to put the pressure on.
So Sinner now with the game point, and that is an ace again. 2 in a row, 4 games all, third set.
Nerves of steel.
4 games all, third set.
That one at 30 all, second serve, to be able to hit that ace when you see Alcaraz just creeping in, going into the baseline, wanting to put pressure on you. That one was absolutely extraordinary.
Carlos Alcaraz stepping up to the baseline. I said he hasn't experienced defeats to Jannik Sinner for quite a long time. He's not lost to anybody for quite a long time because he's won 24 consecutive matches. In fact, his only defeat since the start of April was to Holger Rune in Barcelona. He's won 33 of 34 matches. His backhand is hit down the centre. Alcaraz puts some air on the forehand, lands it on the baseline. The drop shot again from the Spaniard is just wide of the sideline.
And again, just Sinner reading the drop shot a lot better because even though the ball was out,
15.
He made the effort to go all the way to play the ball and to put it very gently cross-court, short cross-court, just to show that Alcaraz, that his physical presence is a lot more. He's fist pumping now towards his player's box as well. Jannik Sinner really pushing the button to get that break.
Love 15 here, and there's been a wicket in the final over of the 4th day at Lord's. Eleanor Oldroyd.
Yes, with the final ball of the day, Ben Stokes knocking out the middle stump of the night watchman Akash Deep. So England have India 4 down at close of play, 58 for 4. It's been a thrilling last 40 minutes. India will need another 135 runs tomorrow, and England will need another 6 wickets.
Any tickets available for the 5th day, Ellie?
I'm afraid it's a sellout, Russ. Sorry about that.
Because I may not have quite so many plans tomorrow as I have done for the previous 14 days. There's Sinner hitting a smash and Alcaraz gone wide with the backhand. You'll be able to follow it ball by ball on Test Match Special from 10:30. The final day will resume at 11 o'clock. The weather is set fair. India needing another 135 runs to win the Test match. England needing 6 further wickets, and they'll be chewing over the day on Test Match Special on 5 Sports Extra for the next half an hour or so. Here on centre court at Wimbledon, 1 set all, 4 games all, but Carlos Alcaraz 15-30 down, finds an ace, and now he's making eye contact with those in the coach's box.
The serving under pressure is just extraordinary. Now 15-30 here, 4 all. Boom, out. Ace out wide. That's why they're multiple Grand Slam champions. Produce the goods when it matters.
Alcaraz with 2 serves to come. They've won 14 games each. 1 set all, 4 games all, 30 all. As our eyes turn towards Alcaraz. Second serve. Tense moments on centre court. Backhand reply from Sinner down the line. Alcaraz backhand. Sinner with a forehand down the line.
Yes. What a shot. What a combination. He has been looking for that combination since the beginning of this match. Jannik Sinner sometimes showing a lot of frustration that he couldn't really have a good strike on that backhand return on the second serve. But he has been looking for it, and when it mattered the most, now to get himself that first break point in this game, he was able to find just a perfect return.
He had 2 chances in the opening game of the set after 2 Alcaraz double faults. This is a break point for 5-4, and Alcaraz, you can see he's feeling the tension, has missed that first serve down the tee.
He's looking for the backhand, Sinner, but Alcaraz double bluffing.
Break point to the forehand of Sinner. Backhand Alcaraz. Sinner now with a mid-court ball. Goes cross-court. Alcaraz in trouble. Backhand volley. Sinner to break. As Alcaraz slips. But there was little he could have done about that. Alcaraz picks himself up. Sinner wants to make sure he's fine. Alcaraz has begun the post-mortem with members of his coaching team. And Jannik Sinner breaks and will serve for a 2-1 lead in the Wimbledon final, Gigi.
Brave play from Jannik Sinner. And an observation, Annabelle, we were talking and looking at the drop shots that were frequently coming into the Alcaraz game, wondering if he was trying to get the legs of Jannik Sinner or possibly conserve his own energy.
Yeah, it was interesting how many times he was going for the drop shots and it wasn't always working. I couldn't work out whether he was really trying to run the legs out of Sinner, but it hasn't happened. His movement has been phenomenal, but Alcaraz is literally ranting at the box right now. It's almost like he's having a full-on blasting argument, and
no one's looking at him. So he's looking at them. Three of the 4 were looking down. Juan Carlos Rey was just staring at him, but absolutely nothing in reply, almost just letting him get it out of his system.
Yeah, and he was indicating something to his chest and lifting up, but both you and I kind of noticed when he was down our end that even though he was trying to bounce in between points, there's less spring in his step. And once he started to miss first serves, which can often happen if your legs go a tiny bit heavy, I mean, that return of serve from Sinner is just something else. It is absolutely spectacular, and it really has done a lot of damage today.
Jannik Sinner serving for a 2-1 lead.
After 2 hours and 16 minutes on centre court, forehand cross-court return long from Alcaraz.
15-love.
It's so interesting, Ross, because Sinner has been showing a lot of frustration in not being able to return well on the second serve on multiple occasions from Carlos Alcaraz, but his camp has been urging him to keep swinging at that ball, to keep being aggressive on that second serve return, and really in the past 2 points, a 30-year-old previous game, that's where he got the fruits from his labor.
3 points away from establishing a 2-1 lead is Jannik Sinner. But he's double faulted.
Alcaraz giving him a different look, this time hugging the baseline again on the second serve, not dropping the position.
Well, you don't often get an opportunity to attack at all, so the second serve is about the only chance you really do have. Alcaraz is trying some different stuff, gone back, gone forward. And he must, if he gets a second serve, he's got to try and get ahead in the point. Something aggressive. Sinner did it the last game.
Ace. Double fault.
That's what happens.
Forgotten.
By second serve. You get a second serve, it's so important.
And the synergy in the box is so different. Just Darren Cahill massively fist pumping and punching the air after the ace of Jannik Sinner in the previous point, and you can see Alcaraz just being so frustrated towards his own player's box in the previous changeover.
Sinner 2 points away from this third set. Drive volley from the Italian, the lob from Alcaraz. Sinner stretches for the overhead and puts it away brilliantly.
Unusual shot there from Alcaraz. He was on the run, but just hit the float the lob up. That was a pretty easy smash. Normally he'd try to whip the ball past the player, down at the toes. He's almost resigned to the fact that he was going to lose that point. Tried to bluff Sinner, but it was hard to get over this guy.
It's been an excellent serving set for Sinner, and he's earned himself 2 set points. Down the tee,
and he got it.
Service winner. Jannik Sinner wins 2 sets in a row, having lost the first set from 4-2 up, and he's a set away from a first Wimbledon title and a 4th Grand Slam title after 2 hours and 19 minutes on centre court.
How good is that from Jannik Sinner? I think his biggest supporter at the moment is the singer Seal, who's almost on the edge of the Alcaraz box and is leaping up and down, cheering wildly every time Jannik Sinner gets a point. And not only has he got a point, he leads the defending champion by 2 sets to 1. We'll be back here on centre court very shortly. But a reminder, from 8 o'clock this evening, commentary of England against Wales, the final group game in Group D. And already there and in position for us and starting to soak up the early atmosphere is Katie Smith.
Yeah, welcome along to Arena St Gallen in the northeast of Switzerland, where we are an hour and 20 minutes away from kickoff between England and Wales. A win for England, and that they are into the quarterfinals. Alongside me here in this beautiful stadium on a stunning evening, former Wales captain Danny Gabardon and former England goalkeeper Karen Bardsley. Danny, you've been here before for a game already, so welcome back. It's a nice old stadium, this.
It is very nice, and I have to say I've been really impressed with the stadiums in Switzerland in general. All of them have generated a really good atmosphere, nice and compact. I think the stadiums have kind of suited this tournament really well, and I think we're going to get another fantastic atmosphere here tonight.
We've seen the players come out, Karen. They've just arrived, so not quite ready to warm up yet, but they come out and have a look around. The crowd already building. I can see Lucy Bronze down below me. Some of the other England stars are just taking pictures in the centre of the field. They all look pretty relaxed.
Yeah, they certainly do. I see Lucy's talking to Sophie Ingle there alongside Hannah Hampton, and Maya Letizia is just about to get sprinkled by the sprinklers. And
gosh, they're quite intense sprinklers, aren't they?
Aggie Beaver-Jones just showing a bit of pace there as she accelerates away. But no, it's wicked. You know, the atmosphere has been building all day in the town centre, in our hotel. There's been loads of friends and family. So yeah, they all look really relaxed. They've got loads of friends. Obviously, they know each other really, really well, some of these players. But there's no friends on the pitch tonight.
And look, we've laid out how it looks, Danny, in terms of, from the England perspective, a win, and they are into the knockout stages. For Wales on the brink of elimination, it's not all over. If they can beat England by 4 goals and results in the Netherlands and France game goes their way, there's still a shred of hope. But how do they attack this England side tonight?
I think if you look at the performance against France, it was a lot more positive. You know, the Netherlands performance, they sat back, they didn't see a lot of the ball. They found it really difficult to hurt the opposition, but it was a lot more positive against France. You know, there was a tweak of the system from Wayne Wilkinson, some change of personnel, and it definitely kind of helped the team. They were a lot brave on the ball, more confident. They caused France a few problems. They got more players up in support of Jess Fishlock, who was able to kind of get the ball in better areas of the pitch and do what she does best. So I thought they would have taken a lot of positives from the France game, and I would expect something similar again tonight. Yes, England are a different kettle of fish. We saw what they were able to do to the Netherlands. They were really purring in that game. So it's not going to be easy, but I just think just being positive and playing with freedom and no fear, really. And hopefully that's what we'll see tonight from the team.
So the Battle of Britain coming up in an hour and 20 minutes. Gigi here in Switzerland for potentially a place in the quarterfinals following that battle you've got on centre court.
We're very much looking forward to it. Casey, thank you very much for now. Before we get back to the action on centre court with Alcaraz serving at 30-15, first game of the 4th set, let's get the latest from the Scottish Open and Ian Carter.
Coming into the closing stages here, the final group on the 17th green. Rory McIlroy with a birdie chance to come. Tester to save par for Chris Gotterup, the leader. He's at 15 under par. McIlroy 2 shots behind. Marco Penge on the 18th, the Englishman. He is just 2 shots behind as well. Really looking for a birdie on that closing hole. And Matt Fitzpatrick playing the last at 12 under par. The clubhouse leader is Nikolai Højgaard after his 64 at 12 under par. But it really looks like it's between Gotterup, Penge and McIlroy right now, with McIlroy surveying a birdie chance on 17.
Ian, thank you very much for bringing us the very latest from the Scottish Open. There was a huge roar as the defending champion Carlos Alcaraz held serve for 1-love in the 4th set. And David, we saw the Spaniard talking and gesturing towards his box when he was broken at 4-all. He was saying to them, he is playing much better than me.
Well,
the news I got as well.
Yeah.
Somebody just sent me a text and said, this is what he's saying.
The scoreline would tell you that, and he's been hanging on a little bit in the last hour or so, has Carlos Alcaraz, and he's hung on to his serve importantly at the start of this 4th set.
Oh, that's a great catch from Juan Carlos Ferrero.
And it is caught one-handed by Juan Carlos Ferrero, and frankly, he would be fine up at Lord's with that sort of handling in the field. Here's a forehand return by Alcaraz. Can he get himself going here? Well, he's top-edged that forehand, and that's gone long.
15. Well, he just, after holding his first service game of that 4th set, he yelled a massive vamos, just sort of urging himself, as Gigi rightly said. So he has been quite negative on his body language, and he still won that 1st set. Yes, it's 2-1 for Jannik Sinner, but he was close enough in that 3rd set to think that he has a way back in this match. And you don't want to really say out loud that your opponent is playing a lot better than you.
He looks grumpy, in all honesty, right now, does Carlos Alcaraz. I mean, look, the scoreline's 2-1 against him. It's hardly going to cheer you up, is it? But if you think back to Paris, we've been here before. He was 2-1 down.
He was set to love down.
In that match, he was 2-1 down. He was 3 championship points down at 2-1 and 5-3. But he won the match. But
Sinner serving is just extraordinary at the moment.
Can you keep on digging yourself out of those sort of holes, Pat Cash?
Yeah, I mean, it's early in the 4th set. He's got to wait for Sinner to drop his level slightly on his serve, and that tends to happen.
Point 4, 1 game all at the start of the 4th set for Jannik Sinner, who hip high whips through the drive forehand volley cross court, dips it down inside the sideline. A perfect service game to level at 1 game all. He leads 2-1.
It's interesting to see how much Jannik Sinner, since he won that 3rd set, is regrowing in confidence now, and the body language it's a lot more positive and a lot more what we're used to seeing him doing. Again, I think that final from Roland Garros was very much in the back of his mind from the majority of his match until he got up finally 2-1 lead, and he has that lead, and now he can sort of spread his wings and open his chest and feeling a lot more comfortable on the court.
Will he get flashbacks if he gets in a winning position again? He always seems to me to be one of the great compartmentalizers in the sport. If you think about the last year of his life as a forehand is hit cross court and the returns on his feet at the baseline, Alcaraz now he's in a bit of bother on the baseline as he hits his backhand down the centre, back to neutral with a big backhand deep, and that was well struck by Alcaraz, and Sinner goes long.
15 love.
Over the past year, it was around the US Open time that we heard that Jannik Sinner had tested positive for a banned substance that entered his system after his physio was treating a cut on his own hand using an over-the-counter spray provided by his fitness trainer, and that got into Jannik Sinner's system during a massage.
Yeah, and so many people say, Sinner's a drug cheat. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing of all time.
He did have a 3-month suspension for that. And in that time, he still won the US Open and the Australian Open with all that going on.
This kid's tough, isn't he?
And more recently, on the eve of this tournament, he'd already fired those two, well, that fitness trainer and that physio. He hired 2 more who were the former physios and trainers of
Novak Djokovic,
Marcus Panici and Ulysses Badio, and they won the Australian Open together as Sinner attacks with a driving forehand down the line, and Alcaraz can't cope with it. It's 1 game all, 15-30 on his own serve. Alcaraz in real trouble now, it feels.
Well, he was in 118 miles per hour, sort of slice serve, but not with enough slide spin to get out of the striking zone from Jannik Sinner, who just punched that ball straight in front of him with so much ferocity.
Yeah, once you get sort of above the 112, 113 mark, it tends to flatten out that wide serve. It's not enough curl, as you said, Marion.
Alcaraz needs a first serve and he can't find it. 15-30 down here. Sinner edges forward closer to that baseline, leans forward, spinning the racket in his hand. He's going to attack this second serve. A backhand off the back foot by Alcaraz. Now he whips the forehand cross court, but he's playing a little safer here. Now that's onto the baseline. What a perfect forehand from Alcaraz, and Sinner can't cope with that one and puts it long. 30-all.
30-all. Well, those two rallies into this game that Alcaraz won is because he has been able to hit completely the ball right onto the baseline. Otherwise, Sinner is just striking the ball so well. If he doesn't hit that deep, he's just not going to miss it, high-end player.
Big points here. One game all, 30-all. Alcaraz serving, 2-1 down. Chance for Sinner to set a break point here. Wallops his forehand cross-court. Alcaraz meets it, puts it inside the baseline. And Sinner hits a clean winner. Inside out with a backhand. He's got break points.
He was 3 meters behind the baseline on the last backhand. David, to hit a winner down the line from that position, to be able to generate that much power. He's on the back foot as well. His front leg is not even touching the ground.
Sinner playing this tournament without any physio and fitness trainer. He sacked his two fitness trainer and physio on the eve of this tournament, and here he is with break point and 2-1 in the Wimbledon final against the defending champion, twice defending champion, Carlos Alcaraz. Has he got any answers, the Spaniard? No! Backhand winner down the line on the return by Sinner.
Too predictable with that second serve, isn't it? Just straight onto the backhand. Time and time again, a double faults have made him a bit nervous, Alcaraz, to go for the bigger second serve. So he has to draw back to the safety of the kick serve out to the backhand, and Sinner's all over it at the moment.
Just waiting for that serve to come.
It's serving, they're serving the double faults. Just put that doubt in your mind.
Now, in just over an hour's time, we're going to bring you full live commentary of England against Wales in the Euros. It's the final Group D game. So let's bring you some team news now, courtesy of Vicky Sparks.
Hi Gigi, yes, it's just dropped here in St Gallen. England make no changes from the side that beat the Netherlands by 4-0. So Ella Toone, who does have a yellow card already in this tournament, so is at risk of a suspension going forward if she picks up another one, does start with Lauren James out on the right hand side. We assume Greenwood will continue at left back and Carter in the centre because that works so well against the Dutch. Wales make 3 changes. The headline news: Olivia Clark, their regular number 1, is back in for Safia Middleton Patel. There's a first major tournament start for Carrie Jones, in for Kayleigh Barton, and Rhiannon Roberts gets the nod in defence ahead of Josie Green. Victory will send England through to the quarter-finals. For Wales to qualify, they've got to get a big win here and hope results elsewhere go their way in the Netherlands-France game. But even a draw for Wales could scupper England's chances, and wouldn't they love that?
Vicky, good to hear from you. Thank you so much for the team news. England-Wales from 8 o'clock this evening. Back here at Wimbledon, Jannik Sinner is 4 holes of serve away, David, from being crowned Wimbledon champion.
Carlos Alcaraz might need to make another miracle happen, just as he did in Paris. But the body language he's showing right now is not of somebody who believes a whole lot. That can change, of course. Mid-court forehand for Sinner, straight back at Alcaraz, who hits the passing shot attempt, but it hits the net. 30 love.
But you know, David, what has been so interesting is since the beginning of the match, we talked and really leaded the fact that if Sinner wanted to win and get his revenge, he had to be on the aggressive side. And that had made him miss few shots throughout the course of the first 3 sets, really. That got him to be extremely frustrated. But his team urged him to keep doing it, even though he was missing the backhand down the line on the return of serve, even though he was missing few of the attacking shots. That was the play to actually get the win today. And now, on that last break point, that he got that backhand down the line winner. Yes, of course, but because he has been trying 10 of them before, he's really starting to get his foot on the accelerator and starting to really take the match out of the hands of Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, he is taking over right now, is Jannik Sinner, and Alcaraz looks uncertain about what's going to come off his racket, unsure about how to battle against this quality from Sinner, who's hitting a huge forehand at 40 love and 2-1. This for 3-1 in the fourth set. He's already had 2 sets to 1. Alcaraz goes long. Alcaraz is shaking his head. Alcaraz looks right now, Pat Cash, a beaten man. That could change.
3 games to 1, fourth set.
Yeah, he does. There's unforced areas. There's nothing he can do, really. The Sinner's just, pounding the serves down, not giving him any opportunities, and then he's in the rallies. Sinner has been on top when it comes to the rallies, certainly since the end of the first set. And it's just great play from Jannik. And the drop shots that are Carlos's favourites, they have not worked today. Jannik Sinner's is fully aware of that, and he's been getting up very quickly to them. So trying to unsettle Sinner has only unsettled himself, Alcaraz. But you said it comes to the end of getting close to the end of a match, it's a whole different story. Finishing it off.
Ace down the centre, Alcaraz with 139-mile-an-hour missile.
And again, when you think of Carlos Alcaraz's success in the 2 previous years, the championship, specifically last year, Alcaraz hit a staggering 136 forehand winners during the 2024 championships. And today, because of the speed of the ball from the back of the court from Jannik Sinner, he has been denied to be able to achieve that.
Serves at the body. It comes back, but it goes wide. Alcaraz is really opening his shoulders right now. He's serving with new balls. They go through the air faster. But I get the sense Alcaraz is just going to go for broke.
Yeah. He will have to.
He's got to have to hit that turbo button and hope it works this time. He's been able to do it against lesser players.
I mean, he's just hit a 141-mile-an-hour serve. It missed the centre service line by a centimetre. But Carlos Alcaraz is never more dangerous than with his back against the wall. He hits his backhand cross-court into the corner. Now he hits a drop shot. That's not going to even bother being chased by Jannik Sinner. It's 40 love. This isn't over yet.
Carlos, throughout the whole course of the third set, only hit 9 winners. When you think of the quality of a player he is, to only be able to hit 9 winners, it just shows you how much pressure he's feeling from the shots from the back of the court from Sinner. With 15 winners, almost double.
I've seen this look in Carlos Alcaraz's eye before. He is going for it. Sinner steps up with the backhand on the line. Alcaraz with a forehand onto the backhand volley of Sinner. Very nonchalantly played, getting back to 40-15.
That was as cool as it comes, isn't it? He hit the backhand volley and just actually turned around, didn't even look where it landed.
And the other thing is, Alcaraz will surely know that if he gets into a 5th set somehow, it's a long, long way away, of course, but if he can, his record in 5 sets is 14-1 and 1 lost. Sinner's 6-1 and 10 lost. Still a long way to go, but Sinner wants to finish this in 4. Here's the Alcaraz forehand. A backhand pass by Sinner.
No, you can't do that. Please, you can't do that. He ran forward at the same time as sliding to the side in a full open stance to take that ball on the top of the balls on the passing shot. How is that even possible? He should be behind the baseline just trying to retrieve the ball.
Alcaraz at 40-30. 2 sets to 1 behind. 3-1 behind. And now he serves long. Sinner trying to get to deuce and give himself maybe a chance at a double break. He returns with his backhand cross-court. Alcaraz meets it and nets.
Again, it's just that relentless pressure that Jannik Sinner is able to build on the shoulder of Carlos Alcaraz. He should have been at 40 love, a routine hold from Carlos Alcaraz, and he's back at deuce now.
Can Alcaraz find the serve when he really needs it? Not this time. That's way long. Sinner stares him down. leans forward, moves forward, hits his backhand return, trying to set up break point here, hits his backhand cross-court onto the backhand of Alcaraz, who goes down the line, and then chips one down the centre. Sinner in charge of the rally. Backhand hit cross-court hard by Alcaraz. Now the forehand violently into the other corner. Just long goes Sinner as he goes for broke. And a man on the front row waves his arms and wants more from the crowd.
We all want more. We all want more, and just a few rallies that Carlos has been able to get a little bit more power from the back of the court than Jannik Sinner. Very rarely that happened, but that was a crucial moment here from Carlos to be able to just inject slightly more pace.
Alcaraz with a game point, hits the centre service line, serves and volleys, low backhand, forehand volley, and the backhand pass attempt is wide by Sinner.
Sinner leads 3 games to 2, 4th set, and by 2 sets to 1.
Alcaraz continuing to ask the question, Gigi.
And Pat, he will continue to ask the question if we know Carlos Alcaraz. We spoke about what could be the difference or come down to be the difference between them. Annabelle brought up the extra time on court for Carlos Alcaraz, nearly 5 hours extra. Are we seeing that a little bit in the legs of the Spaniard?
Well, I mean, he's still moving really well, but just the general energy, the general the feeling is that he's a bit flat and a bit tired, and he's not energised. But I said he'd just keep hanging in there, and he's got that extra element to go. Got the extra. I keep talking about a turbo button. That's a bit old school these days. Remember the old turbo button? No, nobody remembers that. Just somebody, yes, no. Formula One.
We're all going to nod.
Turbo button. Formula One, did they? I remember a rotary engine car that my friend had a turbo button. It was back in the 80s. That was the coolest thing ever. But anyway, you get the point. The Carlos is up. He's jogging to the and he's got to pump himself up. He really has to find something big here and hope that Jannik Sinner misses some first serves. He's just been serving incredibly well. But a couple of these, the drop shots haven't been working, but he might produce something crazy, which he tends to do.
Yeah, if anyone can, Carlos Alcaraz can. Jannik Sinner trying to slam the door on him. He lost the first set 6-4, Sinner having led it 4-2. Alcaraz coming up with wizardry to turn it around. But the next 2 sets went the way of the stoic Sinner.
And we had an interesting moment, David, just before that first point. We had the whole extra guest tickets that are just behind the players' box. Alcaraz corner, just going on their feet and singing "Si se puede, se puede," you can do it, you can do it. And then you had Seal coming up from his seat as well, and sort of fist pumping towards Sinner, telling you can do it as well.
A rare forehand miss from Sinner. He's 2 sets to 1 ahead. He's 3-2 ahead with a break, but he's at love 15 against the twice defending champion. Alcaraz returns with a backhand deep. Backhand on the middle, Sinner. Forehand netted by Alcaraz, an unforced error.
There was a half a chance there.
15.
It was the second serve on only 101 miles per hour from Jannik Sinner, just being very tentative in that occasion, and Carlos sort of knows it and being disgusted with himself that he just couldn't make that forehand.
One point at a time is Jannik Sinner's approach. It's the only way. 5 Live at the Wimbledon men's singles final. Jannik Sinner, 3 games required for the title.
30-15.
An ace down the middle helps as he moves to 30-15.
Sinner, 23 years old and 318 days, is the youngest man in the Open era to reach 4 consecutive Grand Slam final. We talked often about the precocity from Carlos Alcaraz, but the numbers Sinner is able actually to achieve as well are quite staggering.
Yeah, between these two, they are moving the game on again. After the extraordinary feats of Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, 20, 22 and 24 Grand Slam singles titles each. A forehand blocked return, floats long by Alcaraz. What a serve by Sinner, as Tankas says.
Just about hit him in the head with that body serve.
Alcaraz once again just shaking his head in front of us.
Quite in disbelief, really. He can't believe the level that Sinner is bringing today.
He can't quite find the answers just at the moment. Still time, but only just. This for 4-2 for Sinner in the fourth set. He leads 2-1. Alcaraz hugging the baseline this time, taking the time away, hits his backhand down the middle. Deep backhand just long by Sinner.
40. Darren Cahill just recognizing the moment again, getting himself out of his chair, pushing his player. He knows Jannik Sinner is probably thinking of those match points he had at Roland Garros, and now that he's having really this match, this racket, it's just about serving holds.
Still game point for Sinner for a 4-2 lead in the fourth set. Just misses the sideline by a whisker. Alcaraz moving forwards once again, trying to threaten this serve and get it back to Juice if he can. He hits the backhand in the middle. Sinner steps up cross-court with his backhand. Now wallops the forehand that Alcaraz retrieves cross-court with the forehand off the top of the net. Sinner, he gets lucky. The ball dribbles over. Sinner raises his hand in apology.
That was going out.
That was going way out, and the net sort of brought back that ball into the court. And again, just Alcaraz gesturing towards his camper, is saying, I can't do it today. I just can't do it.
Yeah, he's at the back of the court here. Alcaraz retrieving some balls. He's 2-4 down. He's 2-1 down. At the moment, it's not happening. But
Juan Carlos Ferrero is staying muted. We had Carlos Molina, Carlos Alcaraz's agent, talking to him, as well as the assistant coach. You can hear the center court once more.
Centre court trying to lift the man that they've seen win this title the last 2 years, with contrasting wins over Novak Djokovic, the first in 5 sets, the second straightforwardly last year. Here he's in trouble. A forehand hit inside out by Sinner, who's hitting the baseline for fun here. He'll now lean to his left and hit another one of those that Alcaraz hits down the middle and goes long. He's under pressure again.
That skipped a little low that time. When it is a grass court, you're not going to get perfect bounces all the time. Just kept a little low. Carlos dig it out and scooped it just a foot long.
And the first serve percentage is really starting to hurt Carlos Alcaraz as well. He's only at 40%. That sets 51 overall.
Yeah, that is not going to get it done. I don't care how good you are. From the baseline and at the net, Sinner is just teeing off on these second serves. Here he is with a backhand cross-court. He's pushing Alcaraz back again. Forehand whipped down the centre by Sinner once more. Then cross-court, but this time he goes long.
He got lucky to escape there, Carlos, because again, he's so predictable with that second serve. And Sinner is pushing so hard to get that double break, sort of almost securing this match.
Can Sinner keep thoughts of what happened in Paris out of his head when he was at championship point 3 times in a row and didn't win? He hits his forehand chip into the net. Alcaraz moves ahead in the game. Forehand cross-court does the job.
30-15.
That time it was a much better first serve from Carlos. 131 miles an hour. Just a lot easier to be in the front foot after a serve like this.
Big serve out wide, Alcaraz. Brilliant return. Sinner right at his feet on the baseline. How he middles that at 133 miles an hour with a full swing. And Alcaraz can't control it.
Yeah, didn't really get the spot, did he? Carlos' serving is causing him a lot of problems, and that landed straight onto Sinner's racket. Likewise, the Sinner serve has been exceptional since the first set.
Good first serve this time from Alcaraz, but again it comes back. Big backhand on the centre by Sinner. Chance to set up break point. He hits his forehand cross-court. Alcaraz responds just onto the back edge of the line. I thought it was long, but it wasn't.
Oh,
and
Sitter! What a sitter from Jannik that he just missed. He's still looking at the back of the line from the previous shot, but he was able to himself find the baseline and got a true sitter to go double break up. That is tension right now. It's just the tension that starts to creep in again.
The crowd trying to get behind Carlos Alcaraz. They want more. He serves out wide. He hits a forehand volley. It won't be reached! And Carlos Alcaraz smiles!
He's smiling again! He's alive!
First time in a couple of sets he's actually smiled.
And a smiling Carlos Alcaraz, Gigi, is a dangerous Carlos Alcaraz. He holds on to his serve. Sinner, 4-3. 2 more service games needed to win this thing.
And the entirety of the Alcaraz box on their feet, vamosing and fist-pumping their man. And Marion, it's interesting what David was just saying there. We talk about how mentally strong Jannik Sinner is, but he had 3 championship points for the Roland Garros title, and he went on to lose. They were in the 4th set in the 9th game, went on to lose in 5. Will that be, and how deep is the scar tissue for the Italian as he gets closer to the finish line?
Well, we're going to have the answer to all those questions, Gigi, in the next 10-15 minutes. Because we talked about the 3 match points, but they were actually on Carlos Alcaraz serve at 5-3. That means he served for it at 5-4. He had the match on his racket at 5-4. Now, of course, the serve on clay is slightly less important, or takes a bit less speed than on grass. But you think on grass, 1 break in advance, it's a huge advantage, but it's an immense game, but still had that tight on his racket. So the next 2 service hold are going to be just the answer to your question, Jade. We're going to have that coming. We're all going to know now. What is this man made of?
2-1 for Jannik Sinner of Italy. No Italian has ever won the Wimbledon singles title before. 4-3. 2-1 he leads. He serves to the defending champion, who returns deep onto the baseline. And Sinner can't control it. Here comes Alcaraz.
And again, all his friends chanting, si se puede, si se puede.
Has that smile at the end of the previous game unlocked something in Carlos Alcaraz? He returns with a forehand, just clears the net. Backhand on the middle, Sinner. It gives a chance to Alcaraz. Here's the lob, little cross-court one. Backhand powered, cross-court by Sinner. Backhand chip down the line, Alcaraz into the tram lines. And suddenly both players look like park players as they tried to put the ball away.
They couldn't strike the ball well.
15
Neither of them in that whole rally. And Sinner kept on giving back the ball to where Carlos Alcaraz were located on the court, as if he couldn't finish the point.
Do you think they're tense, Pat?
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah,
It was just one of those strange sort of points, really. A couple of miss-hits, wrong footing. They look wobbly, didn't they? But
they're human. They're human, but my word, what sportsmen both are. 2-1, Jannik Sinner, 4-3 in the Wimbledon final, 15-all. Here's his forehand, he's top-edged it. Sinner is tight.
My goodness, that was the worst forehand he has ever hit since this match has started. A complete shake. Just didn't even touch the ball with a string.
A little
now
nod
he
of
needs
the
a
head.
big serve, doesn't he?
Yep.
He needs a couple of big serves. They've been coming.
15-30. And the serve doesn't come. And the little nod of the head from Carlos Alcaraz in the direction of Juan Carlos Ferrero tells you that he's back in the room. And he returns his backhand down the centre. And now he's got a backhand hit again, deep, right onto the baseline. Sinner goes long!
It's incredible. It's almost like he's written in advance. It's almost like the story keeps on repeating. He sort of saved the previous game, somehow escaped Alcaraz, and just the next game, when you think surely this match is almost over, it's 2 incredible shots. Sinner is helping him with the shank forehand as well, and here we are back again. 2 break point to completely level up this match.
Sinner takes one big deep breath and looks at Darren Cahill for help. He's 4-3 up. He's 2-1 up. But he's 15-40 down. And he can't find a serve. This time he does. It's a great one. And the forehand doesn't clear the net from Alcaraz. The first of 2 break-that points saved.
That was a second serve, 110 miles per hour. Really went for it, Jannik Sinner.
Yeah, great depth, wasn't it, on that serve? And Wimbledon titles are won with second serves, not first serves. We've seen that tail today. It's the second serve, Alcaraz, predictable. Got himself in trouble. Still get himself out of it.
Still break point for Carlos Alcaraz to level this 4th set. Can Sinner find another good serve? Yes, backhand return is in. Forehand return down the centre, Sinner. Now he hits his backhand on the line. Forehand cross-court by Alcaraz. Forehand cross-court, Sinner. Forehand cross-court, Alcaraz long.
What an escape from Jannik Sinner, who just had one backhand when he was again on the back foot. The one exactly at the same spot that he missed 2 points before, but this time really finishing the swing a bit more than usual to get that ball to drop into the court. Save that big rally.
Two sets to 1 Sinner, 4-3. He's 2 games away from the title. He's come back from 15-40 to deuce. He finds the first serve. No, that's wide. Extraordinary similarities to their clash in Paris a few weeks ago as the backhand's hit down the middle by Alcaraz as he's trying to come back from the abyss again. He hits his forehand down the centre. Sinner attacks cross-court with his backhand and Alcaraz nets. And it's game point Sinner as he clenches his fist. And it's a point from a 5-3 lead.
And again, just learning from those backhand that he has been missing when Carlos played really deep. And this time, once again, making sure he makes the effort to really use that left hand, to keep brushing that ball, to do not play too flat. So then he can push back Carlos and have a much easier backhand on the next shot. Really learning from his mistakes.
This for 5-3 in the 4th set for Jannik Sinner. Pat Cash said that Wimbledon titles are won with the second serve. He knows, Marion Bartoli knows. Both champions here. Here's the second serve. What a serve it was too! And long goes Alcaraz with the forehand. It was a wonderful serve, Pat Cash.
So here we are, same score, 5-3 in the 4th. Will it be 3 match point in a row? Will Sinner be able to serve it out at 5-4? He has to. The story is repeating, guys, right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, incredible second serve. Going for it. He's got to, he knows he has to.
Alcaraz serving to stay in this tournament. He serves and volleys with a backhand volley, and it's a backhand shank cross-court by Sinner. 15-love Alcaraz.
15-love.
Well, Alcaraz is going to go for it.
Well, our prediction before the match, David, with Chris, was Sinner in 4 or 5. Let's see.
Let's see. Sinner just in front of us, trying to keep his cool. It's so difficult. A backhand return down the middle by Alcaraz. What a great backhand on the line that is from Sinner. And chopped into the net with the forehand by Alcaraz. He was shocked by the quality of that one from Sinner.
The racket speed and acceleration Sinner just unleashed in that last backhand. He's going to try everything not to have to serve for it, really.
He's waiting for that backhand down the line. It hasn't come very often. But he had the opportunity there, just a little bit more time.
Alcaraz trying to take the racket out of Sinner's hand with that serve, but missed the centre service line. Sinner only needs 3 more points for the title. He hits his backhand long.
Oh, he was on that too. He was on to that one.
Yeah, he was. He knows it's going to his backhand now on the second serve almost every single time. Sinner is really trying to keep accelerating on that backhand side and going for big returns.
The sun dips behind a cloud and suddenly we're in shade. Forehand return is down the centre and deep from Sinner. He explodes into a forehand. It comes back. Alcaraz with a forehand down the line. A volley by Sinner.
Lord!
That was something else from Jannik Sinner. My word, what a forehand.
The speed of that forehand is almost faster than any second serve of this match. It was ridiculous, the amount of speed he has generated in the last forehand.
What can Carlos Alcaraz do about this?
2 points away.
Finds the serve, and it's returned into the net.
Wow.
Almost a slow ball.
Yeah, taking the pace
you might
away.
see in the cricket, Pat, there.
Yeah, well, they said that, you know, if you take some pace off it, you're going to get some curl. You're going to get some slide off the court. A lot of these body serves have been flat, easy to return. Not that one.
And Sinner mistimed it. Backhand return is made. A drop volley by Alcaraz is a winner. He's not done yet.
He's going to serve for it.
Centre court rises.
Sinner leads 5 games to 4 sets.
Jannik Sinner went back to
2-1.
return serve again. Or serve. I think he forgot what the score was.
We've been here before, Gigi.
We have, and very shortly Jannik Sinner will step up to serve to be crowned Wimbledon champion. His brother Mark, who's in the front row of the box wearing a green t-shirt and green baseball cap, looks in pieces. He is jumping up, he's fist bumping, he's yelling, he's screaming. His father, Johan, has not stood up at all. He's sat in the back row of the box, and his mother, Sieglinde, is just a row behind, just outside the box. What they must be going through at the moment. Just to let you know that here on 5 Live from 8 o'clock you'll have full commentary of the Group D match between England and Wales, with England looking to secure qualification. Your build-up will begin at 7:30 on Sports Extra. So build-up begins on Sports Extra at 7:30. Meanwhile, as chants of Carlos ring out around centre court, Jannik Sinner, the world #1, is stepping up to see if he can serve his way to be crowned Wimbledon champion. Pat Cash, Marion Bartley, David Law.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, quiet please. Thank you.
Centre court
Thank
can't contain itself. Jannik Sinner is serving for the Wimbledon title. He serves onto the forehand. It's middled back by Carlos Alcaraz, who doesn't want to let go of his title with ease. He hits his forehand inside out onto the backhand of Sinner, who goes cross-court. Then he wallops his forehand deep. It sets up for Alcaraz to attack. Now he hits his forehand cross-court. Sinner responds cross-court. And Alcaraz hits the back edge of the line. Now hits forehand cross-court and out. And Sinner wins the first point of this all-important game.
I can't breathe.
15.
Honestly, I just can't breathe. I mean, those rallies are just insane. Somehow, from the back of the line, Sinner was able to keep his backhand into the court, and Carlos was like, how you can even get that ball back?
Thank you.
Every single point leads to chanting for one or other of these two players.
Please, ladies and gentlemen.
These two great rivals who've shared the last 6 Grand Slam singles titles between them. Who's going to win the 7th? Sinner needs 3 more points. He serves out one onto the backhand, then powers a backhand winner down the line. 2 points away.
Again, that backhand down the line has been so efficient today. Really the key shots that probably they learned from that Roland Garros final that Jannik could have used a little bit more. It has been proving on massive occasions and key moments of this match that has been the shot.
Alcaraz just nods his head as if to say, keep going for it. You can still do it. But can he? From 2 sets to 1 down, from 5-4 down, from 30-love down. A forehand return is made. A forehand on the line by Sinner. He comes in. He plays a forehand volley into the open court. Alcaraz will reach it, but there's Sinner, and even Alcaraz can't get to that one.
I mean, can you try harder than that? He just went sprinting from side to side, even though he looked too desperate to catch that ball. And here he is now 3 match point in a row. Same situation, David, when he's on his own serve. He has his destiny in his racket, Jannik Sinner.
3 championship points for Jannik Sinner to win Wimbledon. He serves down the centre and it's an inch long.
Please.
Second serve. This for the Wimbledon title for Jannik Sinner. He serves onto the Alcaraz backhand who goes cross-court. And Sinner nets. And Sinner loses the first of 3 championship points just as he did a month ago.
40-15. Ladies and gentlemen, with respect to both players, please not call out between the first and second serves. Thank you.
Can Sinner banish the demons of Paris? A second championship point against Carlos Alcaraz. He serves down the centre, and that'll do it for Jannik Sinner, who is the Wimbledon champion.
3 sets to 1, 4-6, 6-4, 6-4.
Revenge for Paris. Revenge for Sinner. He is the first Italian in history to win a Wimbledon singles title, and he embraces his great rival Carlos Alcaraz, an opponent he will surely meet many times again. What an achievement after the devastation of losing that French Open title. Sinner sinks to his haunches to take it all in. He has shown he has got what it takes, and he pats the Wimbledon turf, having won the Wimbledon title. Pat Cash and Marion Bartoli.
Yeah, and now we have our answer of what he's made of.
Great performance, wasn't it? You know, just great serving, nullifying the drop shots of Alcaraz, some of his best shots. Alcaraz definitely below his par on his serve, and that made a big difference as Jannik climbs up to his box.
Into the player box, Jannik Sinner goes, where he is embraced. He is mobbed by his team.
It's so rightly deserved to be able to come back, play another Grand Slam final, his 4th consecutive ones, against the exact same opponents, being the same situation, serving for the match, and to pull out the game he has been able to pull together. He has actually now clapped by Carlos Alcaraz, who is sitting on his chair, clapping the performance of Jannik Sinner and his whole team as they embrace together. I can't start to even imagine what they have been going through until this final, until this rematch, until this revenge, really.
And he embraces his mother, does Jannik Sinner, who is seen so often on the screens of our televisions during the French Open final, just going through such stress. And this time, it is his time. Pat Cash, you can't win them all, but my word, did he deserve this one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, from what he's been through this year and last year, for him to be, you know, win 3 Grand Slams after that, you know, I think really unjust drug ban scandal thing. It's just phenomenal. He's just such an incredible ball striker, and yeah, when he's hot, he's untouchable, really. I mean, his performance was just so solid through the whole match. And we know Carlos can go up and down a little bit, and that's the difference. His performance just didn't dip at all. Alcaraz just produced some amazing stuff at the end of the first set to grab that first set. And we were waiting for it to happen again, but, you know, Sinner just keeps you shackled. Big hitting, big serving, and really well-deserved.
It was so lovely to see the embrace of his team. Then he found his way to his brother Mark, who had been hugging his father Johan, his mother Siglinde. He finally made his way round to his mum, and we've talked about the pain and the heartache that was etched on her face as the French Open title slipped from his grasp just 5 weeks ago. But he's turned that heartache into joy. As David said, the first Italian player to win a Wimbledon singles title, a 4th Grand Slam title. He extends his lead as world number 1. And now, Russell, the preparations will be made for the presentation of a new Wimbledon champion.
Yes, I very briefly left the commentary box about 4 games from the end, and it was very, very busy beneath our box, behind the royal box, where the ground staff who are now carrying out the green carpet onto centre court were gathered, and there were other ball boys and ball girls who were going to be presented to the royal party, all waiting. And I was wondering, have they gathered too soon? Did Carlos Alcaraz have it in him to turn things around as he did in Paris? But in all honesty, with the exception of those 4 games that Alcaraz won to win the first set from 4-2 down, Jannik Sinner looked the better player today. That serving, the ferocity with which he was striking the ball, he wasn't going to die wondering today, and that's why the trophy, the cup, will belong to the Italian for the first time, as the ball boys and ball girls line the green carpet. And here comes that famous silver gilt trophy, which has been awarded to the champion here since 1887. Sally Bolton, the chief executive of the All England Club, is following it out. Annabel Croft has the microphone in her hand, and she will be the master of ceremonies very shortly, as we reflect on Carlos Alcaraz losing a Grand Slam final for the first time, and Jannik Sinner winning a 4th Grand Slam title, and ending this horrible run of 5 consecutive defeats to the man who is going to be his principal rival over possibly a decade and more.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for the trophy presentation for the gentlemen's singles final. Please welcome onto centre court Her Royal Highness the Princess of Wales, patron of the All England Lawn Tennis Club. Her Royal Highness is accompanied by Debbie Jevons, Chair of the All England Lawn Tennis Club, and Sandy Proctor, President of the Lawn Tennis Association.
And they are greeting and thanking the ball boys and ball girls as Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner stand to applaud.
First, please show your appreciation for the championship's referee, Denise Parnell.
Denise Parnell walks forward wearing a cream jacket, black trousers, shakes hands with the Princess of Wales.
And for the chair umpire, Alison Hughes.
That was an extraordinary 23rd Grand Slam singles final for Alison Hughes today, but the first time she's officiated a men's singles final at Wimbledon, having also been in charge for the US Open men's final of 2018.
Now to the runner-up from Spain, Carlos Alcaraz.
Tasting defeat in a Wimbledon final for the first time, but Alcaraz is very much putting a brave face on it as he bows to the Princess of Wales, raises his hands above his head to applaud the crowd for their support. Catherine and Charlie, as he likes to be called, exchange a few words, and it's a runners-up trophy for Carlos Alcaraz on centre court in 2025.
And the gentlemen's singles champion for 2025 from Italy, Jannik Sinner.
Jannik Sinner striding towards the trophy for the first time. Twice an Australian Open champion, once a US Open champion, and now a Wimbledon champion. And the first Italian to lift either this trophy or the Venus Rosewater dish after Matteo Berrettini and Jasmine Paolini last year came so close.
Well, Carlos, You gave everyone such a fantastic final out here. You were up against such a formidable opponent in Jannik today, but would you share with us your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to lose, you know. It's always difficult to lose, even if it is in the final. But you know, first of all, I just have to, you know, congratulate Jannik once again. I just congratulations to you, you know, every week. So it's it is a really well-deserved, you know, trophy. Unbelievable 2 weeks here in London for you, playing a great tennis. You know, for your team as well. I know that a lot of family, a lot of friends flew up to watching you here in the final. So it's just an amazing team around you. Just really happy for you. Keep it going, and then just really happy to be able to build a really good, you know, relationship off the court, but then a great rivalry on the court that made me even improve every day. So thank you very much and congratulations.
And despite the loss today, you must be incredibly proud of the season you've had. 5 titles, you went on a 24-win streak, you added another Grand Slam title here in Paris as well. You must be so proud of what you've achieved this grass court season as well.
Yeah, and just really happy, really proud about everything I'm doing. You know, at the beginning of the season, I struggled a little bit on the court, off the court, but then suddenly I just started to bring joy on the court again, be happy again, and you know, that excitement that I have every time that I step on the court. Thank you to my team, to my family, a lot of friends that I have the lucky that I have them here. Without them, it wouldn't be possible to stand here right now, to play a great tennis, have a lot of joy on the court. So it's yeah, it is a great journey so far, which I'm really proud about. So I just want you to keep going. I just want you to keep bringing joy on the court, and just have to say thank you to them as well.
And I hope we see you back here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be back. As I said many times, Wimbledon is one of the most beautiful tournaments, if not the most beautiful tournament that we have, you know, on tour. I just feel at home every time that I come in here. Such a beautiful court. I love playing here. I love playing in front of all of you. The atmosphere, it is insane, you know, every time that I played here. So I just had to say thank you, and yeah, I'm gonna be back for sure.
Well, we are really looking forward to that. Carlos Alcaraz, ladies and gentlemen, well done.
One thing that I don't want to leave without saying that. I just have to say thank you, you know, to the King of Spain to coming here for support. For me, it sucks. For me, it's just an honor having you in the stand, supporting, flying here towards the final. So I'm just really grateful, and thank you very much for coming. See you guys.
Thank you, Carlos Alcaraz.
The Italian ambassador will be wearing the broadest smile from the Royal Box this evening as Jannik Sinner now comes forward with the trophy in his hands.
Well, congratulations, Jannik. You worked so hard for this victory today. The first Italian to ever hold this beautiful trophy. Just sum up your emotions right now.
Yeah. Hello everyone, first of all, and I would like to start with Carlos. Again, an amazing tournament, but mostly thank you for the player you are. It's so difficult to play against you, but we have, as you said, an amazing relationship also off the court, and on the court we just try to build up, and for doing that we need the best teams in the world, and also you have the best team, so keep going, keep pushing. You're gonna hold many times this. You have already two, so. It's so special because seeing my parents here, my brother, my whole team, it's amazing. Actually, a special thanks to my brother because there's no Formula 1 race this weekend. That's why he's here.
Jannik, just describe for us all what you put yourself through, both physically and emotionally, to get your hands on this trophy.
Yes, I would say mostly emotionally, because I had a very tough loss in Paris. So but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you win or you lose. The especially important tournaments, you just have to understand what you did wrong, trying to work on that. That's exactly what we did. We tried to accept the loss and just kept working. And this is for sure one of the reasons why I hold this trophy here. And I'm just so grateful that I'm healthy, that I have great people around me, which is the most important part. And having this trophy with me means a lot.
And how were the nerves on that final point?
Yes. I mean, it's the last game. Actually, I served very well, so I'm very happy about that. I had some tough moments here on this part of the court the game before, but. Best of 5, they can be so crucial. Every moment can change the match. So I'm very happy that I hold my nerves, and so it's an amazing feeling.
Absolutely. And just finally, how was it having to avoid a champagne cork that came onto the court? Have you ever had to do that before?
No, only here in Wimbledon. But that's exactly why we love playing here. So It's a very expensive tournament also, for...
And of course you're going to be an honorary member of the club. You can come back here and play any time. How does that sound?
It sounds amazing. I hope that my career is still a little bit longer and after I can come back here, but no, it's amazing, to be in this position. We were talking actually before the match. We would never have thought to be in this position. Back in the days when I was young, this was only a dream of the dream, because it was so far away where I'm from. So it's all. I'm just living my dream. So it's amazing, and And one of the last things I would like to say, I would like really to thank my team and everyone who came here for this special day. It means so much to me. You give me so much emotions on and off the court, and we try to keep pushing and trying to become a better tennis player, but mostly a better person. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And the last thing I would like to say, thank you so much for all the ball boys, ball kids. It's amazing to have you. I know you're working very hard and to make our life much easier. And the last thing, thank you so much for all your support throughout these couple of weeks. It has been amazing, and see you guys next year. Thank you.
Your new Wimbledon champion, Jannik Sinner.
Jannik Sinner, first Italian to win the Wimbledon singles title in either the men's or the women's event. It's a fourth Grand Slam for him, and he will pose for photographs now in front of the royal box alongside the runner-up Carlos Alcaraz. And that means that in 2025, as Sinner gets his revenge for that 5-hour, 29-minute defeat to Alcaraz in Paris. Sinner has 2 Grand Slams. Alcaraz has 1. They split last year's Grand Slams 2-all. Can Alcaraz bite back in New York? Will somebody else win a men's Grand Slam singles title? We've got 6 weeks still, Gigi, to think about the US Open.
And with that, Wimbledon 2025 comes to a close. Thank you to correspondent Rossa Fuller, to Marion Bartley, to Pat Cash, to everybody who's joined us on air, to you for listening, to everyone behind the scenes. We mentioned Kev Long, it's his final Wimbledon with us. We wish you the best with everything going forward. But to everyone who's kept us on air and, very importantly, fed and watered, because you get some long days and some long matches in tennis. We appreciate everyone. It's been a pleasure being with you. The tennis circuit rolls on. Wimbledon will be back this time next year, but for now our focus switches to the football, to the Euros, England against Wales. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Your build-up is well underway, so now it's over to Katie Smith.